Have you been to the area's premier radio-controlled hobby shop and raceway? Underground Raceway and Hobbies in Great Northern Mall has 2 indoor tracks for racing at every experience level. Don't have your own car? No problem. You can rent one from us. When you're ready to get your own, we've got an on-site hobby shop with everything you need, including all the popular brands. Underground Raceway and Hobbies has kits for land, sea, and air. Cars, boats, planes, you name it. Come see us next to Dick's in the Great Northern Mall in Clay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MotoOption Supercross. Out of Marmora, New Jersey, riding for Heckman Productions SYS Racing, number 4, Jeremy Smith. From Dillsburg, Pennsylvania, riding for Adept Creative Co., number 16, Logan Leitzel. From Dallas, Texas, riding for Duncan Racing, number 28, Trevor Burns. Mattawan, Michigan, riding for Phil's Ski and Snowboard, number 78, Jacob Hubbard. From New Jersey, riding for Underground RC, number 14, Matthias Janis. From Tampa, Florida, riding for Underground RC, number 5, Tyler Lang. From Scottsdale, Arizona, riding for Panini Motorsports, number 51, Payson Johnson. From Shawnigan Lake, Canada, riding for Panini Motorsports, number 24, Colby Eaglin. From Costa Mesa, California, riding for Phil's Ski and Snowboard, your defending Supercross champion, number 1, Braden Carter. From France, riding for Panini Motorsports, 2018 Supercross champion, and your current points leader, number 7, Alexis Leclerc.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. It is round 11 of the 2022 MotoOption Supercross Series, live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, and I'm ready to bring you guys the action tonight from Indianapolis. We didn't race last week in Detroit. There was a little bit of an issue with one of our admins that runs these races from RaceFactoryGaming.com. So we've pushed Detroit back. It is going to fill the break that we would have normally had after Seattle, so you'll see it coming up in a couple weeks' time. We're just going to keep rolling right along with the schedule here. We've done 3 races so far in this 250 East Division, 9 rounds down in the 450 class to this point. A lot of championship battles shaping up in both classes, and very excited to talk about them here tonight in Indianapolis. We'll just jump right into it, I suppose, right? We'll start talking about qualifying. We'll start talking about this championship scenario and all of that as we take a look at our qualifying standings from a little bit earlier on. Looks like Alexis Leclerc has gone fastest tonight at a 44.445 at very low lap times here tonight, but only has 15 100ths of a second on Braden Carter there in second place. Payson Johnson, Tyler Lang, Jacob Hubbard inside of the top 5 as we look down the running order here. Looks like there are 37 riders in the 450 class tonight. It's not quite a full gate. Moving to the 250 East Division, though, Bryce Whelan out of Canada, fastest at a 46.093. Tieran Tomic on a 46.484. Rogan McIntosh, Braden Tharp, John Heilman inside of the top 5. And remember, Tieran Tomic, he is your current points leader as it stands through 3 rounds of this 250 East Championship, and starting off again with another solid night of qualifying. And we had heard earlier this year that he may not be able to make it to all the races this year, so it's a little bit interesting to see how things are playing out. Maybe he still has a shot to win this championship with missing a round. We'll have to see, though. This 450 class, though, is nuts. 3 points between your defending champion Braden Carter and the championship leader Alexis Leclerc. Colby Eaglin just 10 points down. Payson Johnson almost won the Daytona Supercross last time out, so 2 weeks ago. He's now only 30 points down and starting to maybe get in a little bit of discussion of, kind of getting back into the mix of this championship. Definitely if he wins here tonight and gets a little bit more points back, maybe pulls this thing down to 20 still with 7 rounds after this to go. Man, the sky is the limit for sure with Payson Johnson. And of course, last week's big winner, the first time in his career he's won a 450 main event. So I apologize last week, I got that wrong, but Tyler Lang getting it done in Daytona, looking to keep the momentum rolling into this week here in Indianapolis. Looking at the 250 East standings, though, as mentioned, it is Tomic at the top of the table here with 46 points. Jaden Wilson, Tanner Rogers, Ethan Gerst on down. So, Tomic still holds the championship lead. Going to rely on pretty much everybody behind him to see if they can break through and start winning some of these races, because Tomic has looked very, very good to start the year so far. And it doesn't seem like he is going to be slowing down anytime soon. All right, so let's go ahead and jump back in the server. It looks like things are getting dialed in here pretty soon. Not sure if they've grabbed UIDs yet or not. But if you haven't been with us through these last couple of rounds, I'll go ahead and show you guys the track first of all and talk about that. The championship drama very palpable in this 450 class. We've had Payson Johnson, Tyler Lang battling for race wins in the last couple of weeks. Alexis Leclerc is on a bit of a dry spell right now. It seems like he's got to maybe right the ship and get another race win knocked off to try to hold on to this championship lead. Braden Carter, he's been up and down, a little bit hot and cold, just can't seem to really buy a start, which is one of his main problems. And then Colby Eaglin, who was really hot early in the season, had a really bad lull from rounds 6, 7, and 8 or so. He kind of turned it around a little bit at Daytona, but still trying to get things figured out. And yeah, we'll see whether or not he can make that happen. All right, so showing you guys the track here a little bit. Very unique track here in Indianapolis. It's pretty similar to what we saw out of Houston 1, I think it was last year. You got this long start straight that goes almost the distance of the stadium, but just hooks a little bit of a left right before the end of it. So here's the finish line jump. The guys will come off of this one. They either go over table triple to the corner or step on off double. Carries some momentum into this MX Simulator bowl berm. Nice little double into a floater Supercross triple, the only Supercross triple on the track, and these guys will want to get tucked to that inside line right there. I'm sure we'll see a rut develop on that inside. And an inside-outside option here in the sand to go inside and hook a rut. Outside, I'm sure they'll also lay down a nice rut eventually as the night goes on. Tricky whoop section, as you can see right here. Pretty tall this week. I feel like the whoops are not as spaced out and maybe a little bit closer together. So that might prove to be a bit challenging here for the riders tonight in Indianapolis. As we come out of this bowl berm right here, what these guys are going to want to do is come out and pop this triple in, and then they'll want to quad actually over this. So I'll just do step on, step off. And then hearing that a couple guys are coming out of this corner and able to jump all the way across right here and then quad, which would then set them up nicely to double to the inside in this corner. Left-hand turn, wall jump, and then down the backside of the wall jump across the start straight into this left-hand 90-degree corner. We'll see some guys definitely going for it if the LCQ is a close one into that last corner, or the main event for that matter. So we'll see what actually happens in the racing coming up a little bit later on tonight. We'll bust a little sweet backflip off the jump right here. Then we'll look at the track from overhead a little bit, get a little bit of a bird's eye view so you guys can get a better feel of what this track looks like here tonight. As you can see, the start, pretty long start straight down into that first turn complex, way down here on the other side of the stadium. And instead of going into that sand section right there, they're just going to swoop in right through this area right here. The tough blocks are kind of making it a little bit confusing, but they'll come through this first rhythm section, down this long rhythm lane, left-hand 90-degree jump, or 90-degree into the wall jump, then left over that finish line jump, so that'll be the end of the first lap of the race. But of course, these are all timed races. If you're new to MotoOption Clothing Supercross, you've never been here before, really you've never watched Supercross at all before, these are all timed races. So the heat races that we're about to watch coming up, they will go 6 minutes plus a lap, top 9 transfer to the main event. Then the LCQs after that will go 5 minutes plus a lap, and the top 4 riders will transfer to the main event. 250 main event consists of 15 minutes plus a single lap, 22 riders going at it in that main event, and then the 450 main event, 20 minutes plus a single lap, with 22 riders as well going to the line for round 11, as we say, of MotoOption Supercross. Round 10 in Detroit, like I said, will be reran, or basically just actually ran on schedule at this point, in 2 weeks' time. So during that break that we would have had after the Seattle Supercross in real life, there isn't going to be a race that next weekend. I believe it's April 4th or so. So that week, which is March 30th, I guess would be the day that the race would be on Wednesday, we'll have the Detroit MX Simulator Supercross being ran for round 10. So, yeah, round 10 still to come. Sorry if you guys didn't miss, or if you didn't see that announcement on our channel last week or any of our social feeds. There's a postponement of the 10th round in Detroit. So we've only got 9 rounds complete here so far. And we still have basically half the season left to go. We're moving into the second half right now. Oh, just rejoining in right here. Looks like, okay, yeah, so these guys are on the gate. I need to get a Disco Rico so we can check out what's going on. And we need to get our moto name up and dialed in so we make sure we're looking at 250 heat number 1 coming to the gate right now. All right, those look all turned off, and 250 heat 1 in the corner. All right, so who's going to be on the track for 250 heat number 1? Let's take a look at Jaden Wilson, Devin Davis, Rogan McIntosh. What is that? Cody Chenega or Senega, maybe? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I honestly haven't seen it before. We got Austin Bear, Frank Jackson, Zoa Cross, Carson West, Bryce Whelan, Cade Matherly, Blake Franklin, Tristan Powell, John Heilman, Hayden Stevenson, Jake Fisher, Chase Blakely, and that is mostly a run through the field so far. These guys are out on a parade lap right now, though, so we're going to get the heat race started in just a moment. Cool to see a fresh face like Blake Franklin. Haven't seen him before. Moving up into the mix. All right, here we go. It is time to get the racing started here in Indianapolis. It's a very long run down to this first corner. Start's going to be very critical and a good jump off the gate. Here we go for 250 heat number 1. Let's drop the gates in MotoOption Supercross. We're looking at Robert Wilson on the 46, but he's going to get swallowed up. It's a slurry of riders down the inside, but it looks like it will be one of the Phil Ski and Snowboard Hondas of Bryce Whelan on the 45 machine to come out with the early race lead. His teammate, John Heilman, there on the 44, settles into second, and another Phil's Ski and Snowboard Honda. In fact, 4 round out our top 4 across the line at the end of lap number 1. Frank Jackson right behind Rogan McIntosh, and they are all giving chase to race leader Bryce Whelan on the Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda. Once again, your fastest qualifier. He's always so good in qualifying, always so good in starts. It's about putting those full main event distances together there for the 45 machine. We'll see if he can do it here tonight in Indy. Into this tricky whoop section, first lap through, a little kick out there. But nice job pulling it together. And he's going to triple out of this corner, downside that so he can just pop that quad. It's a tricky quad because the lip on the takeoff of it is not too big. But Whelan makes it look rather easy, and these guys are just going to go 3-3 down to the inside. Got to avoid that pull on the inside. It's just got collisions. These guys could definitely hit those things, go down in a hurry. It's like a little change of position here for second. Heilman slipped back behind teammate Rogan McIntosh, who has moved his way up into a second position now. Johnny Padani on the 180 Underground RC Suzuki has also moved his way forward. He's gotten around Frank Jackson, moved his way up into 4th place early on. So it's kind of nose to tail early on as Jackson actually stands it up behind Padani. Got to watch out for, is that Jaden Wilson, I believe, on the Panini Motorsports Yamaha to the outside. Get a little kicked out in the whoops right there coming through. And Wilson short, as is Jackson. And coming up over top of him, the 46 of Robert Wilson. He might have an inside move right here. Showed a wheel, but in the end allows Wilson to continue on in his position. So they both were able to get around. In fact, as well, Robert Wilson's teammate Chase Blakely also got around the 32 machine, but then Wilson just got stuck on the wall jump. Frank Jackson back down the inside, going to get back through on Chase Blakely. That'll move him back into 6th. Got Cole Gress in 8th, and Wilson rounds out our transfer spots. Johnny Padani's down in the corner right here. He's trying to get it spun around. He's going to get going just behind Devin Davis. I think Davis might have just moved into the final transfer spot. He did, so everybody so close together right here. We still have over 3.5 minutes of racing left to go, plus that single lap at the end. Padani trying to get to the inside of Davis for the final transfer spot as Cole Gress exits stage left. So he will lose a transfer spot. Padani now into 9th. Cole Gress slips back into 10th. Davis able to get a little bit of breathing room because Padani messed up the rhythm section. Now he is headed up onto Robert Wilson there on the 46 Kawasaki. Into that wall jump. Got to be careful not to clip anyone's tire. This track is really kind of a basic track, I would say. A lot of these guys taking very similar options, although Davis right there going over 3, but he actually cases it, allows Padani close back in. Cole Gress still right behind these guys. Dualies over the triple. Davis just a little flick. Padani, nice job laying it over. He's trying to get that drive down into the sand section. Inside move for the 180 machine. Wow. Ripped that rut as well. Davis slips back to 9th. Padani hopping through the whoops a little bit, but corrals it together. Now Cole Gress trying to go to work on his teammate. Maybe trying to make a move into that final transfer spot. Little teammate battle for that position. The 31 of Davis, the 143 of Gress. And who is going to come out on top of this one? Davis, a slide out. Gress just skirts around the outside. Makes that pass stick. So Cole Gress into the final transfer spot. Davis now slips back into another fellow teammate. And off the track, Frank Jackson, he's just getting up from a crash, so that will actually move Davis back into the final transfer spot. Landing off that triple, trying to tuck to the inside. Up the inside, by the way, the 75. That is the 75 of Zoa Cross. Just made a pass there on Austin Bear. Now he's setting sail after Devin Davis for that final transfer spot. It is hot and heavy action here as your leader continues to be Bryce Whelan out front. So Frank Jackson went backwards. Oh, track re-entry there by Jaden Wilson. Not ideal, but it looked like he may have been invisible to other riders, so he got put on the ground a little bit. It looks as though Austin Bear has been moved into the final transfer spot, or perhaps Cross and Devin Davis going at it. And it is Cross who's in 9th, but he just went to 8th. Cole Gress is down before the finish line jump. Oh, front end must have blown out of that inside rut. And he is down, so he's lost several positions. Looks like Frank Jackson may have just moved back into the final transfer spot, back behind Zoa Cross. Going Gonna try an inside move. Cross gonna swing to the outside, try to get that drive and hold the position. Close. They're still nearly side by side as they enter the whoops. Jaden Wilson down the inside. Oh, gets into the side of Zoe Cross, causes a bit of a stack up. And now it is Cross versus his teammate, Frank Jackson, for this final transfer spot. Look at this, side by side. Cross trying to make an outside work. Frank Jackson to the inside. And now they are both chasing those Adept Creative Co. Yamaha teammates of Austin Bear and Devin Davis ahead of them. So maybe these two trying to work together and close up the gap to those teammates ahead, so they might both make it through. Still going to be close, though. We have got time running down in this heat race, though. 10 seconds left on the clock. Bryce Whelan coming down is just going to get another lap in, so 2 to go right now for Whelan out front, looking comfortable as can be. Rogan McIntosh, John Heilman, Chase Blakely, Robert Wilson moving into 5th now. Johnny Padani up to 6th. Devin Davis finds his way to 7th. Austin Bear right there in 8th. Frank Jackson still in the final transfer spot. 2 to go. And the pressure from teammate Zoe Cross is coming as we see some good lapped riders moving aside. Zoe Cross is really pushing up on Frank Jackson here, but they've actually caught Devin Davis and Austin Bear there on the 70. So Davis now kind of on the hot seat here in 8th place. Jackson in 9th, going to go down the inside, and it causes some chaos. The teammates get together. Davis into the side of Austin Bear as Cross gets going side by side with Austin Bear. He goes to shut the door. Oh, the front end getting a little bit light coming out of that sand section. Look at that inside move for Bear, but I think he may have just been trying to avoid the rider down. So Bear moves into the final transfer spot behind Zoe Cross. Devin Davis now outside looking in. We must have lost somebody else that I didn't quite see. Maybe I didn't think Wilson was back in position, but anyway, it looks like Austin Bear now into that final transfer spot. Back out front. 8 turns left to go. Not as big of a lead anymore, though. He's lost a little bit of ground to teammate Rogan McIntosh, but Bryce Whelan coming into the night as your fastest qualifier, getting a first look at what this track is going to race like tonight, but really hasn't seen much of a race at all. Got the start that he needed and has controlled this race from the front, and he's going to control it all the way to the flag. Bryce Whelan takes heat number 1 in Indy. McIntosh, Blakely 3rd, John Heilman, looks like he'll be 4th, Johnny Padani down in 5th, Robert Wilson in 6th here, Frank Jackson up into 7th, Zoe Cross in 8th, Austin Bear is in 9th, and looks like he is going to stay there, barring any late disasters here. Into the corner behind him is his teammate Devin Davis by the looks of it, but Bear goes through to the main event out of P9. It actually was Cole Gress behind him, 3.4 down, and then Devin Davis coming through. Jaden Wilson, Cade Matherly, Tristan Powell, Cody Senega, got Jake Fisher, Hayden Stevenson, Carson West, Brandon Holmes, and Blake Franklin. Cuts have now come in. Let's take a look. Everything looks to have stayed the same. Heilman drops to 5th behind Padani. Padani goes up to 4th, but that is it for the rest. Bryce Whelan is your winner here in 250 heat number 1. All right, getting ready for 250 heat number 2 coming up here in just a moment. Back in studio, Kellen Brower bringing you guys the action here from Indianapolis. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Hinson Clutch Components. They sent me this t-shirt. They also sent me a jacket. They basically just reached out to me and said they've seen that their logos have ended up on, you know, some of your guys' bikes and skins and other things that you guys make for MX Simulator as well for MX Bikes. And they're just kind of stoked to see it. They're happy to see that you guys are using their logo to say that like you're using Hinson components inside of the engine casing and stuff like that. And they basically reached out to me just to say, you know, pass on the message. And they said, thanks for the support over the years that I've given to the gaming community. So they sent a shirt my way. And I just wanted to give a shout out to them because that's really cool of them to actually reach out and say, you know, like, it's awesome what we're doing for the gaming community. So thanks to Hinson Clutch Components. Definitely, guys, go check them out if you haven't already. And we appreciate them supporting the gaming community. So rad of them to do that for sure. Go ahead and jump back in the intermission screen. hang out with you guys a little bit more as we get ready to drop the gate here in 250 heat number 2. Coming up next, of course, we'll see our championship leader, Tyron Tomic. He's on some new digs this week. He's riding a KTM now. We've seen him on that Connect Visual Suzuki to this point. He didn't actually switch teams. The Connect Visual team just has elected to go over to KTM's. Of course, Jack Perry with Jack Perry Designs over there working on those bikes, getting them dialed in. So it's going to be cool to see what the look of the new CV KTMs are tonight. We'll get a look at that in just a moment. But yeah, good to see everybody. What's going on in chat? We got Roto here. Good to see Roto. I just really met Roto IRL in Detroit on the weekend, and he's a rad dude. So you guys should definitely check out his YouTube channel. And, of course, follow him because, you know, he's very cool to watch on Twitter. He's got some cool takes, and he helps you out with PulpMX Fantasy, which is what I really use him the most for. So shout out to him. I think I'll see you in Indy, right, Roto? I think you're going to be there too, so hopefully we'll catch up again. Always great to run into you. Becca Kendall asked, why wasn't there a Detroit round? There will be a Detroit round. There was a postponement last week. The Race Factor Gaming crew had something come up that caused them to not be able to host the race last Wednesday night. So their option was to just push it back until the off week, which is going to be after the Seattle Supercross in a week's time. So in 2 weeks from now, we'll race the Detroit Supercross in MX Simulator. Of course, it's a little bit delayed, but it is what it is. It just happens sometimes. There is that Connect Visual KTM now, with those red plates. The new, is that, I think that the Isaiah Dickerson KTM, by the way, as well. Brand new KTM. Looking hot. All right, what else am I missing? Yeah, Saru will be in Indy. Good to see. I'll be in Indy as well. Thanks, Brandon, as well, for saying good stuff on Pulp. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me on the PulpMX show. I feel like a very harsh critic of myself, and I feel like I need to be, you know, really dialed in and a good co-host. So I feel like, you know, hopefully I did a good job. We'll see. Yeah. Chant's going to be at Indy. YouTube Duck's going to be there. Tyler Moses, his old lady's always beating him up in Pulp Fantasy. That's funny. All right, here we go. Folks, time for 250 heat number 2. Who we're going to watch off the start right here? Well, Lane Wofford, he always gets some good starts on that Boots House Yamaha, the number 27 machine. Let's see if he can rip another one. You got Tyron Tomic way down the inside there on the 42 machine. As the 30 card goes sideways, who's going to get that whole shot? The 35 machine leads him in. Seth Carr on the Underground RC Suzuki comes out with the race lead. The 29 of Ethan Gerst right there behind him in second. Might be going for the lead right there, side by side into the wall jump. Gerst on the 29 gets it done. Over that table at the end of the first lap here, tripling into the corner. Seems to work out about even, maybe a tiny bit faster. But is it a viable race line? Gerst going to swing wide. Everybody kind of going a little bit wide on the first lap right there. And a front end tuck from Seth Carr. He's going to lose some positions. So Gerst driving through the whoops right there. Tomic had just moved up to second, but gets put a little high. Caden Speck on that EVP number 41 Yamaha moves into second place. So Tomic, your championship leader. So start off the gate, but has made some good first lap passes. These guys are trying to jump that double across the start straight, and we'll see a little bit later on in the 450 class, those guys double and then quad double through those six set of jumps right after the start straight right there. Very big section, though. Going to be a lot of speed carried, I feel like, through that section in real life on the weekend. So Gerst continues to lead. Speck has really closed that gap down, though. Suddenly we have a little bit of a battle for the race lead going on. Speck trying to get a line to work on that outside, but the inside, he can really hook that rut well. Just looks to be a little bit faster early on in the race. I'm sure it'll get a little bit worse as the night goes on. Tomic gets that triple in this time. Now he's actually closed up on Speck for second here. They're all chasing Gerst out front. Gerst with a little mistake, though. I think he just hopped off the track a tiny bit. That gap coming down a little bit. Tomic just got sort of stuck on the wall jump as well. So at the end of lap number 3 on to lap number 4, these guys still nose to tail for the race lead. And they're chasing Nini Motorsports' own Ethan Gerst. Gerst down the inside after that Supercross triple. You can see everybody really trying hard to get to the inside after that triple. It's just kind of the way to go. I'm sure we'll see a rut even develop there as Tomic to the inside through the sand trying to get a line on Speck. Oh, and Gerst just cutting down hard out of the corner. Must have just made a little bit of a mistake right there. So these guys closing up. Tomic tries to get to the inside to make the pass. Oh, and he boots back over the berm. Had enough of you, good sir. Let me introduce you to the Steve Mathis Memorial Nets, as he will now rejoin in 4th place behind Trevin Thompson. And Tomic continues on in 2nd, trying to go after our race leader, Gerst. Yeah, this is very similar to Houston last year, actually. Houston 1 and Houston 2 are pretty much the exact same. This track map, by the way, as Tomic down the inside. Oh, tucks the front wheel. This track map, by the way, is the round of Monster Energy Supercross that was designed by a Monster Energy Supercross 4, the official video game player, by the name of, like, Wet Dookie 6790 something or whatever. Yes, I know it's a funny name, and kind of hilarious that it worked out that was the winner of the competition. But yes, that username, that person on Xbox designed this track, and they will be racing it IRL on the weekend in Indianapolis. So it does look a lot like Houston last year, but yeah, just a concept designed by somebody on Supercross 4, just expanding with it. I do feel like it was maybe a little bit lenient, like they're trying to be, as close to as close as they could to a real track. And I'm sure there were some other tracks that were submitted through that track competition that were really cool or better. But yeah, Wet Dookie, he was the winner. I want to look that up, because I do know that was his username, but I want to get the username correct. We'll look it up after this race. We'll pull it up on the old startyoursystems.com page, because I know I posted it there. Let's go back and figure out what's going on in the transfer spot battle right now. Is it Brett Powers? No, he's 11th. So right now it is Lane Wofford on the 27 Boots House Yamaha, who is in the final transfer spot. It's like he is comfortably so as well. He's got a minute and a half left to go. Nick Tomasunis is the rider behind him on the MXLocker.com number 69 machine. So Wofford holding steady. We'll see if he comes under attack anytime soon. There's Trevin Thompson, though, just up ahead of him. Noah McLaughlin. Trent Adams. Good little battles throughout the field, but nothing really standing out as we run through. Tanner Rogers has worked his way forward. The Phil Ski and Snowboard number 49 machine. Tomic closing up on Gerst again for the race lead. Seems like each rider's had their problem areas so far in this heat race. We have, looks like about 45 seconds left on the clock. It is going to be very close again for clipping whether or not they're going to get another lap and have a 10-lap race versus a 9-lap race in this one. Look at this, though. Tomic down the inside tries to make the move. They almost come together. It looked like they actually did hit each other, but somehow Gerst remains on 2 wheels, and boy, did he rip that inside rut, but Tomic has got a great drive to the outside. Not quite close enough just yet. See if the Australian can close up here on Gerst and make something happen. It is going to be very close. 6 seconds on the clock as they hit the wall jump. 3, 2, 1, time. Oh my gosh, that was so close, and they do still have a green flag, so it is 2 to go. I don't think it could have been any closer than that. I mean, it was... Whew. So for those of you watching at home, when the camera changes, when they go over the finish line jump, is when they actually hit the timing gate in the server. We have a little bit of a server delay watching them, just so that we don't have crazy ping. Like if you're watching an MX Bikes race, you see that ping lag. As Gerst kind of gets the whoops wrong, he ends up hopping through him, and Tomic is going to take the race lead. So Tomic through into the race lead. Let's see if Gerst has a response. But yeah, so we have a little bit of a delay just watching the playback, or, you know, it's live, but it's a little bit of a delay on the playback. So when they go through the timing gate is when the camera switches. So right there is when they actually went through the timing gate, even though it looked like they just hit the finish line jump and went over the top of it. It meant that they were about 1.5 seconds ahead of that, and they'd already actually gone through the timing gate for the finish line jump. So the white flag is out now. Tomic able to charge forward and take over the race lead, and man, has he looked good this year. Always charging forward, looking comfortable doing so. Hopping through the whoops a little bit, though. Gerst is trying to fight back. We might have a last-ditch effort here out of the 29 machine. See if he can close up and make something happen. It'll have to be down this straightaway right here with a good drive. Maybe he'll use the wall jump to his advantage if he can get it a little bit cleaner, perhaps, than Tomic, or will he send the wall jump even? No, likes to back out of the challenge, so Tomic holds steady, and the Aussie gets it done in Heat 2. Gerst in second, Tharp third, Rogers fourth, Inspec in fifth, Noah McLaughlin down here in sixth. Seventh for Trevin Thompson, eighth Wofford, and Adams in the final transfer spot here, and with no pressure from behind, he is going to be good to go. So the top 9 all dialed in here, no problems whatsoever. And Adams will indeed cross in ninth. Ooh, Nick Tomasunis just got together hard with Seth Carr. Wonder if these two have been going at it throughout the race, and that's just the tail end of some drama between the two. See if that continues on, because they're going to be in the LCQ. Tomasunis, Zellner, Carr, Thomas, Jake Melton, Will Clark, Tyler McGuire, Chris R., and Nate Brow. All in this one. Let's see if cuts change anything in our top 9. No, they did not. Tyron Tomic confirmed as your race winner here in heat number 2. All right, now it's time to let the big dogs eat. 450 heat number 1 coming up next. Back in studio. Dylan Brower in the booth, bringing you guys the action here from Indianapolis. I'm going to take a little sip of water. Drink up, folks. Trying to save the voice throughout the evening. Good to have you guys with us, though. 280 some odd live viewers. Good to have you guys here. Hopefully you're enjoying the show so far. We still got a lot of racing left on the docket. 450 class coming up next. Heat 1 on the billing. We'll see who's in this one between our championship contenders, Alexis Leclerc with the championship lead, Braden Carter, Colby Eagland, Payson Johnson, and Tyler Lang, all there inside of the top 5. Tyler Lang just getting his first career win 2 weeks ago in Daytona, trying to keep that ball rolling. Of course, we were off last week for Detroit. Didn't race that one, but we'll race it in a couple weeks' time. So back at it, and we'll see if Lang still has got the goods that he had for Daytona. Bit of an outdoor specialist is Lang, but yeah, always interesting to see how it kind of shakes out with how the outdoor guys do at Daytona. And for a little while, we had a battle between 2 outdoor specialists, between Lang and Adam Holm for the race victory in Daytona. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, just keeping it rolling. Garrett Barber asks, how do I join the series? So yeah, if you head over to racefactorgaming.com, you can go ahead and register an account at racefactorgaming.com. If you've never raced before, you'll request a license. Most likely, if you've never raced before, you'll request a novice license. Then you can race the 250 novice class on Sunday nights when they have the amateur racing. You can also request a B license, A license, whatever, but you do still have to get approved and show proof that you're able to run quality lap times and consistent lap times to get those licenses. You know, riders that have a pro card in this game, for example, they have earned the right to have a pro card. They have raced their way to that level. So usually, if you've never played before, I'd recommend getting yourself a 250 novice license. Trying out the novice series. It's free to play. And yeah, all ran through racefactorgaming.com. So if you have MX Simulator, you're looking to get involved in the series, racefactorgaming.com is a place to go. And you too can race just like these guys here, but on Sunday for the amateur races. All right, let's get reconnected and see who's on the gate here. Oh, I wanted to show you guys real quick. See if I can still find it real quick. Startyoursystems.com. Yeah, here we go. So here is Supercross 4 track contest winner announced, Indianapolis Supercross. This track right here that we're playing right now. And the winner of the contest is Wet Dookie 9253 on Xbox. And yes, this is a real press release. So yes, that is the real name of that person on Xbox. So 3,000 tracks are submitted by passionate Supercross 4 creators. And this one was the winner. Shocking, I know. Oh, man. All right, 450 guys on the track. We'll jump back in the server and check out what's going on here. Logan Leitzel, just talked to him on the weekend at Detroit. Good to catch up with him. Racing real-life Supercross, of course. Ethan Parks, Enzo Boutigny, Thomas Wilcox, Chase Donovan, Dylan Copeland, Jacob Hubbard, Braden Castellaneta, Holden Coate, Chris Post, Alexis Leclerc in here, just to name a few. And I definitely could not wax these guys. Maybe I did at one point, but no longer can wax these guys anymore. We'll take a look at Leclerc off the start here. See how the number 7 machine fares. Looks like Jack Haley is also on the gate in this one. As we get ready to go racing again, 450 Heat 1 right now in Indy. Outside line works. Alex Kerr. Jack Daniels Racing rips the hole shot. Not going to get the preferred rhythm line through here. Let's see if he can still hold the lead. Actually gets landed on by the 51 of Johnson. Oh, Leclerc is stuck on the wall jump, but he's able to get over top. So Kerr leads the end of lap number 1. We have got a slurry of guys going over the finish line jump together, like 9 guys in the air at the same time. And different option lines coming in this corner. Got a little dicey. Leclerc down the inside, really trying to feed it down the inside, not make too many mistakes. But it is Kerr leading. Oh, 33 of Hall gets kind of stood up in the corner at the 54 there of Rockefeller coming through as well. He moves into second place. Got Holden Coate, Thomas Wilcox, Caleb Hall, Dylan Copeland getting sideways. Leclerc just behind him. Oh, and our leader Kerr has gone off the outside edge of the track. So he's able to lead that first lap, but things have gone awry since. So our new leader out front, Thomas Wilcox. Kind of trying to keep track of all this stuff, but man, look at how close everybody still is through this first rhythm section on the second lap of the race. So Wilcox leads. Rockefeller getting passed by teammate Caleb Hall over the finish line jump. Yes, indeed. 33 machine will get that pass complete. Hopping into the corner. And Johnson, and looks like we've lost Leclerc. Leclerc has slid back a little ways. Jack Haley's also back here, and indeed it is. Leclerc back here with Hubbard. He is down in 15th position right now, is our championship leader. So 7 Machine's got some work to do almost into the back of Hubbard right there. Front end lock still aplenty. Now trying to get it turned around, and he is going to fall back into 16th position. More riders down. Leclerc getting stood up in the corner there as well. And this is going to get a little bit dicey. He's still got pretty much everybody right in front of him. But we'll have to see if he can weave his way through the field a little bit here, because it'll be tough. More riders down, so Leclerc's going to gain a couple more spots. Looks like he is up into 12th right now, trying to go to the inside of Ethan Parks. More guys really close on the wall jump. Look at how close everybody still is right here. And Leclerc's trying to weave through. We'll go on board the Frenchman, because you can see literally the entire pack is still right in front of me. Just moved up to 11th, but first back to Leclerc is in the straightaway Leclerc is in right now. I mean, the leader's going down the start straight the opposite direction right now. Still very, very close racing right here. On the inside, Leclerc trying to move into 10th. Looks like he's got that pass. Ryder's going down and whoo, getting stood up in the corner by Holden Coate. But he is up to 9th, so Leclerc into a transfer spot. Leclerc going for the quad double. Greases it. Looking silky smooth as well. Trying to pull up alongside Holden Coate. Can't quite get a move done yet. How about the battle out front, though? Teammates going at it. Looking like the Sobi Suzuki days back in 2002. Kevin Windham and Travis Pastrana out front. Aaron Rockefeller and Caleb Hall going for the race lead right now. Be awesome if we could see a couple knack-knacks or heel clickers, but these guys will just have to resort to throwing some fat whips instead as they carry momentum through the whoops. Hall got a little bit sketchy. And we also have another underground RC Suzuki. It's Braden Castellaneta moving up into this 3rd position. So 1, 2, 3 for the RM Army out front right now. Wow, look at that line by Castellaneta, and it ends in tears. He goes down hard, and Johnson's down with Jack Haley. Oh, and Boutigny goes down. And more riders are jumping in like crazy on that quad. Saw Leclerc scoot through as well. Looks like he has made it all the way up to 4th position now, which is kind of crazy. Actually, it's 3rd, excuse me. So go back to our race leader. Caleb Hall, Aaron Rockefeller there in line. And crazy to see Leclerc might come all the way back to still win this heat race, depending on how things shake down with our race leaders. That's Caleb Hall going the distance so far at 4.5 minutes. Still got 1.5 minutes plus a lap to go to try to win this race, but Leclerc is lurking. Our championship leader, the 2018 MotoOption Supercross champion, back here on the number 7 Panini Motorsports, backed by Safe Moon Yamaha. Scrubbing off that triple jump, trying to close right up there on Rockefeller. Not quite close enough just yet, but definitely in the ballpark. Down to less than 2 seconds between himself and race leader. Caleb Hall, as Rockefeller makes a mistake, Leclerc is going to triple quad right on by. And suddenly Caleb Hall is going to have the fast Frenchman closing up, jumping across the start straight, quad and double. And gosh, does he make that look just honestly too easy. That line is not easy, I promise you, folks watching at home, and Leclerc just getting it done with relative ease. All right, so looks like they are not going to make it back next time by, so it should be 2 to go. We'll see if Leclerc can get it done for the race lead as he closes up on Caleb Hall. Right up behind the 33 machine there. That inside line in the corner. And everybody loves that second rut through the sand right there. Hall's trying to hold steady, but he's not going to get the preferred line through this rhythm section. Leclerc quads to the inside for the race lead and puts Hall into the Davalos bales. Leclerc to the front. As time has expired, so the white flag will wave this time by. And an incredible charge forward by Leclerc, making it happen here in Indy. White flag is out. Hall second. Rockefeller third. Seth Shirley up into fourth. Wilcox side by side with the 81 of Donovan for fifth. We'll hold that position. Castellaneta seventh. Leitzel eighth. And Dylan Copeland right now is rounding out our final transfer spot with no real pressure from behind. So Leclerc with the charge through the field, 18th place at one point during this race, but just let everything kind of come to him. A lot of riders went down, and Leclerc just was able to capitalize on all the mistakes, avoid all the drama, keep it on 2 wheels after those early crashes, and in the end, Alexis Leclerc is going to bring it home. Heat 1 goes to the Frenchman. Caleb Hall second. Seth Shirley over the wall jump there in third. Wilcox in fourth, and Rockefeller fifth. Donovan sixth. Castellaneta seventh. Copeland up into eighth, and Holden Cote versus Leitzel for the final transfer spot. Leitzel off the side of the track. He's going to try to swoop in before the finish line jump and get it. He cut the track, but it doesn't matter. Cote gets it anyway, and Leitzel's going to have cuts for being a dirty little cheater. Alex Kerr crosses the line in 11th. Jacob Hubbard will get across the line in 12th. Enzo Butigny with a block pass and a half by Chris Post puts Matt Cromie on the deck. Payson Johnson going to the LCQ as well. Chris Post down again. There's Butigny. Cromie, everybody just chilling right here. Ethan Parks going for the double pitch to Chesty. And we are waiting for cuts to come in, as Ethan Parks will be the last guy through right here. Right now. Or right there. All right. Cuts are in. And nothing changes. Of course, Leitzel did have some cuts. Ooh, Wilcox drops from 4th to 6th because he cheated a little bit. And Leclerc is confirmed as your race winner in Heat 1. All right, Heat 2 coming up next. Back in studio, Kellen Brower, bringing you guys the action here from Indianapolis. Once again, just a quick shout out to Hinson Clutch Components. You guys weren't here. Hinson reached out to me and basically said that they've been stoked to see Hinson on a lot of different like side plates on the bikes and stuff like that. Let's see if I can go find somebody that's got Hinson on the side plate so we can talk about them real quick. Let's see. GYTR. Hinson. There we go. So we got a Hinson Clutch Components Racing logo right there on the side of the 22 of Thomas Wilcox right there. And the guys at Hinson, they just reached out to me and they said, hey, this is really cool that you guys, like, we didn't ask anybody to, but people are using their logo, on those clutch plates, on those sides of the engine casings in the game. So they said, that's really cool. They just wanted to let you guys know that they're really stoked to see that kind of exposure for their brand and very thankful for the MX Simulator community for doing it. So they just sent me a t-shirt to kind of say like, hey, thanks for the support over the years. They're stoked with the gaming community and the support that they've given Hinson by putting their logo on all these bikes and stuff like that. So they're just stoked on it and they just wanted to say thanks. So shout out to Hinson Clutch Components because that's really cool. Not many companies have been reaching out and saying stuff like that to us. So very, very cool. All right, what's going on in the chat? What have I missed out on? What's the name of the track on MES X4 that Wet Dookie made? I don't know. I don't even know. Can you play the custom tracks that were uploaded for that competition? I don't know if you can, but I really don't know what the track name was. So yeah. Let's see. What else am I missing on? Jay-Z Joker. Kellen, do you think Ken Roczen will return this season? I don't think he'll come back for Supercross, but I do believe he will be back for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. But I kind of think that'll be the last time we see of Roczen on a Honda is Pro Motocross this year. There's a rumor that he might go to GPs, but we'll see. All right, let's get a disconnect and reconnect going on here. It's on Xbox, yeah, but I don't know if you can play those custom tracks. I haven't figured out if there's a place that says, like, here's what the custom track is. It was uploaded here or whatever. I'm not too sure. All right, let's jump back in for the final heat race of the night. 450 heat number 2 coming up. Johan Bordeaux, Bob Joe, Jeremy Smith, Brandon Nygren, Alex Heckman, Casey Ohlert, Benjamin Saves, Alec Horn, Maxime Vanderbeek, Joey Van Wessel, Colby Eagland, Adam Holm, Braden Carter, the defending champ, Jay Turner, Tyler Lang, the Daytona Supercross winner, myself in warm-up mode. We're all just chilling. Will I stream MX Bikes Loretta's? I haven't been asked or know of even what that is yet, so as of right now, no. He might end up at Honda in GPs, so I think this is the last we see of him with American Honda, but I really have no idea. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, final heat race of the night, ready to go here in Indianapolis. Who's going to get that all-important hole shot? Who is going to win this race as we drop the gate again in 450 Heat 2? Land rush into that first corner to the 4. Jeremy Smith gets to the corner first, but he will not exit it first. It's Adam Holm on the atom.com, number 17 machine, who picks up the whole shot in 450 Heat number 2. It's Holm with the lead from Jeremy Smith. Right there in second place. Third place belongs to Seth Crotty, Jay Turner, Tyler Lang, Luke Sullivan, Benjamin Saves, Jody Van Wessel, and Casey Ohlert inside of the top 9 as we complete lap number 1. But it's the fast Floridian Adam Holm out front on his atom.com gas. Jeremy Smith trying to close down on his number 4 SYS Racing Heckman Productions Honda. Triple quad for both riders. Holm got it very smooth right there. See, both these guys are quadding. No, Smith going 3-3. Holm got the quad very smoothly, though. Here's momentum across the start straight. I'll tell you what, Adam Holm looks ready to win a race this year. And early in the season, I would not have said really that was the case. He looked like he was very solid, just kind of getting back into the swing of things, but I felt like it would take a little bit of time for him really to find his speed. I guess it has taken some time, but man, he looks good in the last few rounds to this point. Almost won the Daytona Supercross last time out 2 weeks ago. Now leading his heat race, pulling away from Jeremy Smith back there. And Smith, of course, is no slouch in this game. The winningest MX Simulator racer of all time in the pro ranks. Oh, jumping off the track, going for the 5 a little bit is Jeremy Smith. Gonna have to calm down there for a second. Still Crotty in 3rd. Jay Turner right there in 4th. Joey Van Wessel back in P5. Bob Joe's off the track. Oh, and that's Carter that just went down. His teammate Bob Joe's gonna hit him, but Carter, wow, buried back here, and Luke Sullivan just went down. So Carter, a lot like what we saw out of Leclerc, has got some work to do. Fortunately for him, similar to Leclerc, everybody's still pretty much right in front of him aside from maybe a handful of the lead group. But he certainly has the opportunity to get into a transfer spot. I don't think he'll win this heat race, but we'll see. It's like Alex Heckman just getting up from a crash right there. Carter's just going to follow him in right here. Down the inside, trying to get by Heckman. Nearly contact. Always bite my fingers a little bit because Carter is on the SYS Racing MX Bikes team. And getting into the side of our SYS Racing MX Simulator teammate, Alex Heckman right there. Wall jump. Carter blows right up to the back of, I think that's Vanderbeek right there. Over table triple 47.5. Not really a blistering pace, but trying to get it done in traffic. And Carter's just not really looking all that comfortable right now, it seems. Got to try to get the move on here, try to make some quick passes. Got a good drive into the whoops right here, but not quite close enough to make something happen on Vanderbeek just yet. Rider was down on the inside of the corner, so he is going to go up to 12th. He's got P9 basically right in front of him. Another rider down. It's a 16 there of Jody Van Wessel. It's a 316 actually. Carter going to case the triple, trying to get stopped into the corner. Rider's stacked up on the wall, jump ahead of him. 47 flat, still there right behind Vanderbeek on the 62 machine. Another pass made, going to go up into 10th. That was Jay Turner, looks like that was down. And into 9th finally, around James Ohashi. Hashi dropping back into 10th right there. Now Carter down the inside, finally going to make a pass stick on Vanderbeek and shoot his way up into 8th along the way as well. So back to our lead battle. It has stayed pretty much the status quo since we last left it. Adam Holm right here in the race lead, dealing with the pressure from Jeremy Smith behind. But Holm just looking solid as a rock. Responded well to that pressure that Smith was putting on him. Seems like Smith got close, and then Holm was able to just kind of inch it back out just a little bit. 5 minutes on the clock right here, so they will get another time to go through here. Holm really has now just kind of stretched it out, so no pressure from behind. Jeremy Smith has lost touch. Let's see if we find ourselves another battle. Looks like Luke Sullivan and Tyler Lang right here in about 4th and 5th position. Ooh, look at Lang throw that bike into the corner. Interestingly enough, I don't think the last heat race got 10 laps in, but this one will. Eagland and Seth Crotty. Oh, look at that cut underline by Eagland. Beautiful move. If he can make it stick into the corner, he's going to go over triple. And he will get it done. Man, that was incredible. If you saw him just kind of cross over that rut, hop back up the inside. Made the pass stick there on Seth Crotty. Back to Braden Carter, still working on Maxime Vanderbeek by the looks of it. So Carter, he got into 8th spot, has stayed in 8th, but Vanderbeek has gotten back around him somewhere. So something really not going right tonight for Carter, at least to this point. He'll have to really try to regroup for the main event, but going to get a couple more spots right there. Vanderbeek and Sullivan? No, just Vanderbeek went down. Who else was down right there? Couldn't quite see the name or the number, but it is a lapped rider as Bob Joe goes 12 o'clock on us coming out of the corner. Sullivan off the side of the track. A lot of mistakes being had, but solid as a rock out front has been this man, Adam Holm, looking for his first heat race victory of the season as he continues to ascend in the championship points, now inside of the top 10, continuing to move forward and just looking oh so solid along the way as he's knocking on the door for his first race win of the year. But Adam Holm gets it done in 450 heat number 2. Jeremy Smith crosses the line in 2nd place. Colby Eaglin got close to him, but he'll get 3rd, 4th for T. Lang. And Seth Crotty, who slipped back into 5th place. Braden Carter coming through in 6th now. 7th for Luke Sullivan. 8th for Bob Joe. Jody Van Wessel is in 9th, but Benjamin Saves tries to cut the track. He's going to slow down, but I think he's going to get too many cuts off of this anyway. So Van Wessel should be going to the main event. Saves, Bordeaux, Alec Horn, Vanderbeek, Ohashi, Heckman, Turner, Ohlert, and Nygren all going to miss out as we wait for cuts to come in here in just a moment. What about Joey Van Wessel? Good to see him. All right, Van Wessel holds on 9th after cuts have been applied, so the penalties didn't change anything. Adam Holm, your winner here in 450 heat number 2. All right, now it's time for the fun stuff tonight, folks. This is why you all tuned in. This is why there's 340 people here right now, folks. It's the LCQs. Last chance for a lot of guys to try to make the main events in both the 250 and 450 classes tonight. These always provide some fireworks, and this track has produced close racing tonight. Like, not a lot of separation, not a lot of difference makers throughout this racetrack. So we might have a good set of LCQs because of that. We're going to have guys running close lap times. So long as we have guys not crash in the opening few laps, we might have a gaggle of people at the front trying to make these main events. Hopefully that is the case and have some good racing. Good to see everybody still hanging out in chat. A lot of you guys tuned in and watching. Brandon Watkins, Justice Greco, Daft, Ryan Hicks, Peak, Hunter Ludwig, Keegan, Saru, Justin Karen, Caden Yarrow, Perry Duo 7, Brandon Watkins, Paradise BMX. Everybody's here. Good to see you guys. T-Bone. Yeah, good to have you guys here. It's going great, Hunter. Thanks for asking. How are you doing, buddy? Yeah. Perry Dude's ready to see some LCQ drama. Spelled it Dharma, but that's okay. Dharma. Isn't that from the TV show Lost? The Dharma Initiative or whatever? Hunter's been a big fan of the series since 2017. Locked in. King Rider is out. Doesn't even want to think about bikes right now. Focusing in on sim. It's Keygen. Apologies if I said Keygen. Keygen. How's it going? MX for Life 894 says, let's go Seth Shirley. I agree. Seth Shirley crushing it so far tonight. Any top guys run keyboard? I don't think so anymore. For a long time, there were a couple guys that were still doing it. JLV made a main event, the game creator, back in 2013, I think it was. He made a main event on keyboard. On a 125 as well. On a 125 in the 250 class. Oh, yeah. Oh, we just hit 69 likes? Hell yeah, dude. Crushing it. Don't know how to spell in here, but that's all right. I don't expect everybody to spell perfect. Love it. Chat's super interactive tonight. Good to see you guys hanging out, having a good time. Hopefully everybody's having a good night wherever you are. Hopefully I see some of you guys in Indy as well. I want to apologize in advance to Brett Hurin of Hurin Visuals, who reached out to me, and I did not see his message until after the race on Saturday night. I really try my hardest to meet up with anybody who asks at these races, but Hurin asked, and I didn't see his message till later. I was so bummed. Because Hurin, I definitely would like to meet him as well. He crushes it, dude. He makes some sick tracks. And missed him at Detroit. Maybe I'll catch him at Redbud a little bit later this year. Hopefully so. Top guys make any money from sponsors? Yes, they do, actually. Some of these guys are legit paid on contracts, which is a little bit beyond what it used to be when I was racing. We were sponsored by Fly Racing, and we got free Fly Racing gear back in 2013, 14, and 15 when I raced for Barry Motorsports, but I thought we were lucky back then. Now I'm seeing guys making like decent money to race, so pretty cool. All right, folks, 5 minutes plus a lap. We're ready to drop the gate on the LCQ. This is going to be a lot of fun. Only 4 of these riders on your screen right here are going to the main event in Indianapolis. Some of these guys are going home real unhappy. Let's find out right now. Bumping and banging up the inside, and then a lot of riders push wide, causing a chaotic first turn. led through by Nate Brow on the Verb Moto, number 573. Brett Powers, Donut MX, he's got a good start in second. Someone just got teed up in the background right there. Looks like they were able to remount those still inside the top 10. It might have been Carson West on the iSpec number 486 machine as Powers comes across the line in second at the end of lap number 1. Brow leads. It is Brett Thomas in third and Jake Fisher right now in the final transfer spot. But here comes the 35 machine. That is Seth Carr. Seth Carr trying to find his way through. His down was Donut MX. So Seth Carr does go into that final transfer spot. Brett Powers trying to fight back. 312 back there. That's Hayden Stevenson trying to get a good drive. But Carr's off the side of the track. Kind of pogo sticks on the rear tire. Trying to get going, still in a good position here. Not lose too many positions as he jumps back on the track alongside of Cole Gress on the 143. So let's reset it for just a moment. Nate Brow leads. Brett Thomas in second. Jake Fisher in third. And Powers, Donut MX right now in fourth. A little bit of a gap behind him as well. So let's see if the man, the myth, the legend, Don himself can hold on. He's going to gain another position as Jake Fisher goes down. And Blake Franklin goes into the final transfer spot. Cade Matherly outside looking in, but he's trying to make the move right here on Franklin. Oh, and Franklin goes down. He takes Carson West with him. So Matherly into the final transfer spot. Let's see if he can hold on to this position now. Seth Carr right behind him coming into the screen as well as Cole Gress. And Nick Tomasunis, Devin Davis. More riders getting collected in the background, but they're all chasing Cade Matherly for this fourth and final transfer spot. Gonna need some help as well, perhaps from the race leaders, I think, to get a couple more of these guys in. But the leaders are holding steady. In fact, just a little three-rider train out front looking sharp. Brett Powers, Nate Brow, Brett Thomas. We got a Verb Moto 1-2 right now with Thomas and Brow. So Brow was able to hand over the lead to his teammate without much fussing. These two are just trying to hook onto each other and set sail out front. Last thing you want to do is fall into the clutches of all the chaos going on behind you. Seth Carr is closing up on Cade Matherly. This has the makings to get a little bit spicy and dicey for this final transfer spot. Matherly over the wall jump. Carr trying to keep it close. Now up and over the finish line jump. Matherly closing up on Brett Powers here. Powers going to go outside. That leaves the door wide open for Matherly to make that same pass he tried to make a lap earlier. Put a couple riders on the ground. It's going to move him into third this time. Now Powers, bit of a sitting duck as here comes Seth Carr and Cole Gress. Carr with the drive in the whoops, but Carr goes down. Gress just able to avoid him to the outside. So the 143 Adept Creative Co. Yamaha trying to close up on the number 40 Wild Side Designs machine of Brett Powers. The Don himself. Donut MX out front. Trying to make it into this main event through the LCQ. Brett Thomas, Nate Brow, Cade Matherly, and Powers running in fourth place. Gress getting aggressive up the inside. Hey-oh. Not quite close enough to make a pass attempt just yet. We'll see when the opportunity comes, though. So close there behind the 40 of Powers. Through the whoops, getting a little wayward. And lost some ground as well. Tomasunis starting to close up there in the background. Oh, who's down? Is that one of our leaders? No, it looks like it is not. Thomas, Matherly, Powers. Oh, no, excuse me, it was. It was Nate Brow. Nate Brow went down. So that puts Cole Gress in the final transfer spot. Nick Tomasunis is trying to steal the position away, though. We got 2 laps to go because the 5-minute mark is just about to hit. Look at Gress closing up on Powers, trying to make a move for third. Oh, and he's down. He's off the bike. Cole Gress goes down, and he's going to hand over third place at the time. to Tomasunis. Excuse me, Tomasunis actually goes into the final transfer spot. Now Brow and Gress both outside looking in as the white flag waves out front. So Tomasunis and Powers just need a good lap between both of them, and they will be good to go. Back to race leader Brett Thomas. He's got a good gap going. Cade Matherly, Powers, and Tomasunis. Powers and Tomasunis kind of the battle on track right now. Tomasunis trying to get to the inside, move his way into third place, and he will do so with relative ease, but Powers looks like he is just trying to hold on to that final transfer spot, not throw it away here late. All right, up and over the wall jump, down across the start straightaway, and Brett Thomas gonna win the LCQ. Matherly second, Nick Tomasunis third, and Donut MX goes to the main event here in Indy. Old Gress will miss out. Nate Brow, Seth Carr, Will Clark, Cody Senega. Oh, Carson West, that's a tough one for him. Jake Fisher, Dylan Love, Hayden Stevenson, Brandon Holmes, Blake Franklin, Alex Zellner, Devin Davis, Jimmy Wilson, Jake Melton, Tyler McGuire, Tristan Powell, just to name the group that did not make the main event here tonight at Indianapolis. Oh man, we're waiting for Cuts to come back through and really put this to an end. 7 seconds is quite a bit though, so I'd have to imagine it stays the same. And yeah, Powers actually got back around Tomasunis for third. Tomasunis had 3.27 seconds of Cuts, but Powers ends up third in this one. Brett Thomas, as mentioned, is your winner here in the last chance qualifier though. All right, 450 LCQ coming up. How we all doing tonight? Looks like people are stoked to see the Donut MX into the main event out of this one. I don't know why I don't have his skins. I had his skins at one point, but yeah, Donut MX, if you're watching, reach out. Reach out to your boy. Get you some skins on the Soiva. All right. So, coming up next, 450 last chance qualifier. Be sure to hydrate, folks, at home, because we got a good battle coming up soon, and you will not want to be dehydrated and falling asleep in your chair. I know, right? Dualies. We need more of those tonight. For show. Happy birthday, Trippy Trey. 'Twas my birthday last Thursday. Turned 29. Ugh. Hopefully you guys are not 29 yet. Last year until I hit the dirty 30s. It looks like my daughter's coming in to say goodnight. Holly, you want to see the people? Here, we'll do the full webcam so you can see. Come here, look at the people. Say hi, people. Say, I love you. What do you think? Yeah. Waving? Can you say bye? Can you wave bye-bye? Can you blow them kisses? Can you blow them kisses? You know how to blow kisses? Blow kisses. Yeah, good job. Good night, sweetheart. Just got out of the bath. All right. Here we go. 450 LCQ coming up. All right, James Ohashi, Maxime Vanderbeek, Jacob Hubbard, Brandon Nygren, Alec Horn, Benjamin Saves, Matt Cromie, Enzo Butigny, Jack Haley, Johan Bordeaux, Chris Post, Alex Kerr, Ethan Parks, Casey Ollert, Alex Heckman, Jake Turner, Payson Johnson, Logan Leitzel, all lining up, getting ready to go. Who gets it done in this LCQ? Obviously, I think the gallery at home would like to see Payson Johnson make it into the main event. We'll see whether or not he can get it done. Jack Haley also in this one. That is going to be one to watch for sure. Whether or not the old Jack Attack can get it done. He is way on the outside. Trying to see where Payson is. Looks like he is 2 inside of the box. Here we go. 450 LCQ in Indy. Underway. Johnson with a great start. He's going to control it into the first corner. Haley's just going way wide, saying, let all the chaos happen. But honestly, not very much chaos. Pretty clean start. And I think Haley actually got taken down by the one person that ran wide in the first corner. Unbelievable. All right. Johnson leads at the end of lap number 1. Johan Bordeaux second. Chris Post third. And Jacob Hubbard in the transfer spots at the end of lap number 1. Boutigny. Benjamin saves. Someone lawn darting off the track in the background. Alec Horn on the Moto Action number 59. Looks like a Underground RC Suzuki, though. Hubbard down. So riders swarming around him. So it's Johnson leading from Bordeaux and Post. Boutigny now into the final transfer spot. Benjamin saves. Pressure from behind. Alec Horn down the inside into 5th. That could be a crucial pass if one of these guys is going to try to make it into the main event. Boutigny trying to stay low on this triple, going a little bit long. Loses a little bit of ground right there. Alec Horn's going to have an opportunity to close it down a little bit. Where is Jack Haley? Has he made any progress? Number 2 machine. A little bit further down the field. Looks like he may actually be outside looking in still. And a mistake from Boutigny. And Jack Haley looks like he may have just quit as getting landed on Boutigny. And the 89 machine of Benjamin saves. And then the 78 of Hubbard goes down. Ollert goes through. Leitzel goes through. So it's Johnson from Bordeaux, Post, and Horn with Leitzel moving up into 5th. Ollert into 6th. And a lot of chaos just happening. Oof, Leitzel, greasy scrub on the triple, but he's still got some time to get up to Alec Horn. The 59 machine, the Moto Action Suzuki, looking pretty good right here. Almost jumping off the track. Got to be careful. Don't want to get into the pole and go down. Chris Post looking very solid on the iLadies.com. Number 96. Oh, my goodness. His buddy Thomas Thunis just made it into the main event, I believe, if I remember correctly. They love running those clean white setups. Hot pocket. Hot pocket. All right, back to Johnson out front. 3:24 on the clock, which means we still have a minute and a half left to go, plus that single lap before this LCQ is done. Not a lot happening. We're trying to keep tabs on whether or not Alec Horn will be able to close it down. Well, it looks like he did close it down. We have got a change somewhere. Or no, I'm just being an idiot, and Leitzel was the one we were thinking might close it down, but he's lost some time. Ollert has gone through. Yeah, Leitzel to 52.5. Oh, almost going down again. This is going to be tough for Leitzel as well. currently top 10 in 450 points, as is the man ahead of him, Jacob Hubbard. So a couple guys that we see in opening ceremonies every week. Oh, and Leitzel down hard after the whoops and rage quits. So Leitzel not going to the main event tonight. You hate to see it. Of course, Jack Haley also out of this one. Ooh, Alec Horn is now behind Hubbard. Is Hubbard into the final transfer spot? No, it's Ohlert. Excuse me. Horn must have blown it somewhere. So Ohlert into the final transfer spot. We'll have maybe 3 to go, but more likely 2 laps to go. Although, where is Johnson? Nah, we have got 3 to go for sure. He is coming to 2 to go this time by. He is way out in front. Literally scrubbing the quad in that rhythm section. Just kind of laughing in our face. What is he doing? 44.7s, 45.5? What's he putting down this time through? 45.7? Shut up, Payson. You're ridiculous. All right. Teammates. Ohlert versus Hubbard. For the final transfer spot to the main event here tonight in Indianapolis. Hubbard gets the quad double. 2 laps to go this time by for this duo. And who is going to come out on top and go to the main event? Hubbard, top 10 in championship standings, wants to stay there. Ohlert just trying to make some main events. Coming up on pretty close to a decade of Ohlert trying to and making it into main events. So just cool to see he's still out here crushing it in MX Simulator. Looking solid right now. Let's see if he can hold this position, though. Kind of hopping through the whoops a little bit there. A nice job of corralling the Phil Ski and Snowboard Honda underneath him. Oh, and Hubbard down in the background. Oh, but he saved it. He's got some work to do still, though. 2.2 seconds down. White flag coming out. Race leader Johnson is down, by the way. He'll get up still comfortably in the lead. And Hubbard has got 2 seconds to make up on his teammate if he wants to go to the main event. 1.9, 48.7 last time by. He has got to make quick time and get to his teammate or hope one of the other riders ahead of him goes down. There is some lap traffic involved. Looks like one of them has wisely moved off the track. It might be Benjamin Saves by the looks of it. Another rider also stopping off the side of the track. Ohlert, not the best drive into the whoops. Here comes Hubbard. Half a second in it for the final transfer spot. Teammates, how aggressive will he be? Hubbard's going to try to go for the quad here, I'd have to imagine. Cross the start. Goes for the quad. Doubles up to the inside, trying to make the pass. Ohlert around the outside. They get together. They're both down. Hubbard stays that's Ohlert staying up on 2 wheels. Incredibly so. And is he going to give his teammate the spot? He is. So Ohlert lets Hubbard go through. But man, they actually let it get really close with Alec Horn, which might still bite both of them in the butt. Hubbard gets through for 4th at the end there. You got Post, Bordeaux, and Johnson going through. Whew! Wow. Let's see what happens. I'm waiting for these cuts to come in. It might kick both these guys out. Let's see. No, he stays in. Hubbard, fortunately for his sake, didn't have any penalties, but only 1.6 seconds behind them was Horn in the end. Horn did have 3/10 of penalties, so would have cost him some time. Weird sequence of events right there, but Johnson goes to the main event with Bordeaux, Post, and Hubbard in the end. Wow. Crazy race right there. And now we'll go ahead and get our moto timer up. Get ready to drop the gate in the 250 main event. Make sure we have a 250 timer on screen. And back to our intermission screen as we get ready to go racing here in 250 main event from Indianapolis. Boy, what the heck just happened right there? Man, Ohlert and Hubbard getting together, almost costing both of them a chance to the main event. Crazy. I can confirm team orders, says Chandler Rogers. So maybe there's team orders involved. I mean, of course there's team orders involved. Ohlert let Hubbard go through, but in this particular scenario, it seems like Hubbard, who's in a top 10 situation in the championship trying to maximize his points haul, doesn't want to get taken out of the main event by his teammates, so Ohlert just lets him go through. not really a big deal right there. I mean, of course, it's better to see everybody kind of going for it, but it happens. I'm trying to think if I ever had a teammate let me through for any reason. I don't believe I did, but I also had teammates that were better than me always, so I would have been the one letting them through, but I was never in front of them, so never really had that situation, but it is what it is. You have any videos on how to whip on here? I do. I actually haven't made a whip tutorial, so to speak, but I do have a video for you that would possibly help you along. Go ahead and pull open the old Start Your Systems tab. So if you ever go to startyoursystems.com, want to check it out, if you go to videos, top of the screen right there, videos, you can search by playlist, and then popular playlists. There's an MX Simulator tutorials playlist that you can search right here on startyoursystems.com, and it's got a ton of tutorials: how to build tracks, how to use cameras, bike skinning, how to lean in the game. This is all a track building stream. Putting snapshots in the game, suspension updates, name and number on gear, a screenshot tutorial, controller setup, rollers. What else we got? Starts, braking bumps, ruts, backflips and 360s, seat bouncing, scrubbing, hitting whoops, step on, step offs, cornering. Like there's a ton. So there's a ton of options. If you go to startyoursystems.com, you want MX Simulator tutorials, that's the place to go. Because I have made a ton of videos, and they're all pretty old at this point, but they are all still relevant because MX Simulator hasn't changed pretty much at all since I made all these videos. So this is where you go to see these tutorials. So check it out. First person settings, I'll show you guys right now. So I run my FOV at 105, first person height at 1, angle at 25, and my gimbal at 50. I play in third person though, so my height is 5 and my distance is 10 with an FOV of 105. But yeah, that's just my settings. And yeah, all right. Here we go, folks. 250 main event on the gate. Who's going to come out on top in this one? Thomas trying to get another win. John Heilman out here. Brett Powers, Brett Thomas, Rogan McIntosh, Nick Tomasunis, Austin Bear, Cade Matherly, Chase Blakely, Trent Adams, Trevin Thompson, Noah McLaughlin, Robert Wilson, Johnny Padani, Caden Speck, Anna Rogers, Ethan Gerst, Zoe Cross, Frank Jackson, just to name a few. In fact, where is our championship leader? There he is. Tyron Tomic. Switching over to the orange gear for the main events. Colegrass is writing his retirement post as he speaks. Very funny indeed. All right, make sure our 250 timer is up. And second now. All right, there we go. 250 timer is on. Countdown is on to the main event tonight here in Indianapolis. Round 4 for the 250 East Championship. Getting ready to drop the gate here in Indy. Let's go racing in the 250 class. A lot of guys hitting the gate. Couple guys getting together up the inside. Contact. That was Gerst getting together with one of the Adept Creative Co. Yamahas. And it's Bryce Whelan picking up the RaceFactorGaming.com Whole Shot Award. Almost into the pole as his teammate McIntosh pulls up alongside on the wall jump. McIntosh in a second. Tomic in a third. Wilson right there in fourth. Oh man, we've got a great race on store for us here tonight in this 250 main event as Whelan leads the way. And Tomic get up there and start battling. Top 3 nose to tail with Wilson just off the back end of him as we're looking at McIntosh splitting the difference between these guys. Everybody kind of hopping through the whoops on the first lap. Nobody really got it clean. Tomic down. Tomic down at the end of the whoops. Their championship leader. He's going to lose several positions. Let's see if he can get going safely here. Oh, just falls in line there behind the 27 of Wofford. 44 of Heilman up alongside of him as well. And now it becomes a 2-rider race at the front. At least for this early stages of it. Whelan, your fastest qualifier here tonight, leads at the end of lap number 2. McIntosh second. Wilson under attack. The 53 of Braden Tharp right on his heels. Not sure why I don't have Tharp skins anymore. Maybe he has changed teams. He was, I believe, on the Adept Creative Co. Yamaha team, I thought. Maybe he switched over to a new program and we don't have his updated skins just yet. Hopping through the whoops a little bit. Wilson under attack. They kind of each square off the corner together, and Tharp gets into the tough blocks a little bit. Two leaders starting to gap out a little bit on the rest of the pack, as Whelan leading the way is a man out front that knows how to win these main events, has won in both the 250 and 450 class. Always a great starter, always a fast qualifier. But does he have the full 15 in him here tonight in Indianapolis? We are about to find out, as he continues to lead the way from his teammate Rogan McIntosh. Wilson still third, Tharp fourth. Austin Bear now up inside the top 5. The Adept Creative Co. Yamaha number 70 machine under attack. That's Brett Thomas. LCQ winner on the Verb Moto Honda. And the 43 machine closing up, that's Trent Adams. Another Adept Yamaha rider. Thomas just behind these guys. And Lane Wofford in P9. See Adams closing up a little bit here. Short on the triple was Thomas, and oh my goodness, how did Adams not go down? A double pass in the end by Tomic. Read that very well to go to the inside while those two were getting into each other on the outside. And in the end, able to move up into 6th now behind Austin Bear. Battle for the lead, and actually a change for the lead. McIntosh has gone to the front. So the 60 Filski and Snowboard Honda, remember, at the second round in Arlington, won 2 of the 3 Triple Crown main events, but had an abysmal final main, ending up in 10th. Almost could have swept the Triple Crown. Instead, left empty-handed, and now trying to end up at least on the box here tonight, but maybe even win the Indianapolis Supercross in the 250 class, as he's got a little bit of a gap established now on teammate Bryce Whelan. Not sure what happened to the 45 machine, but definitely lost quite a bit of ground in a short amount of time. McIntosh getting through the whoops pretty clean. Whelan, bit of a kick halfway through right there. McIntosh holding real strong right now. Not really fazed by the pressure, but of course we've seen it this year. He is one of only 3 riders that have finished a main event this year in first place. Although he did not win the overall at the Arlington Triple Crown. Still got a couple race victories to his name. And Whelan's just sitting right there lurking. Go back and find Tomic. He is just getting around Braden Tharp for 4th. So the Aussie, your championship leader on the Connect Visual KTM. Tell you what, that's a sick look. I didn't know that that orange gear was made by Fox, but that is certainly something that Max Volan should wear. That whole setup right there, but on Max Volan would be, whew, oh, heat. Tomic closing the gap down in quite a hurry to Wilson, who just went down. I think Wilson may have just gotten a little bit of Aussie lag tap from behind. Ends up going over the bars. Johnny Padani is going to go through. So that moves Tomic up into 3rd. Battle for the lead is still going, though. Whelan is not letting his teammate McIntosh go. Both of them going for the on-off option right there. If Whelan could have quadded, he might have had a shot at the race lead. Whelan have a spot picked out, trying to make a pass on his teammate. A little bit of off-track excursion right there. In and out of the tough blocks as we move on to lap number 9. 6 minutes have gone. 9 minutes plus a lap are still to go. And Whelan trying to make a pass stick on his teammate and race leader, Rogan McIntosh, who swings a little bit wide in the corner. Whelan squares it off to the inside. It's a drag race to the next turn, and Bryce Whelan goes back to the front. He was into the tough blocks a little bit, but able to hold on and take over the race lead. A little short on the triple in. McIntosh now settles back into 2nd place. We've got a nice gap established on 3rd, which is still Tomic. Braden Tharp in fourth. Rogers has now moved into the top 5. So Tanner Rogers, field ski and snowboard Honda rider, definitely factors to get on the box here if he can make some passes. Little 3-rider train going on for third place. Looking at the tail end of it right now with the field ski and snowboard Honda rider of Tanner Rogers on the 49 machine. In between himself and Tyron Tomic is Braden Tharp on the number 53. Look at that turn. Rogers kind of slid the rear end on entry and just laid it into that corner. Now going to pull up alongside Tharp. Tharp's going to get a drive down the inside of the whoops, but can Rogers make something happen? Thinking about squaring off, but not able to cut down very well. Now triples on off of the table. Rogers trying to go through into fourth place in this turn, and he's got it. Nice move, an on-board move. Us watching Tanner Rogers right there go around Braden Tharp now. He is trying to close up on Tomic in a battle that would be for third place. Peek at our leaders real quick, make sure they are not in a heated battle themselves. As we go back to Tomic, and Rogers going to close up a little bit. Tomic just kind of messed up the finish line jump. Tomic swinging a little bit wide. Rogers saw an opportunity right there, but then backed out of the challenge, trying to avoid getting pulled into the Aussie lag bubble there by Tyron Tomic. Little mistake, I think, for our race leader out front right now. He just tucked the front wheel a little bit. Lost a little bit of ground, but still holds on over Rogan McIntosh. Rogers is just right there lurking on Tomic, trying to get close enough to make something happen, especially if something like that happens. Tomic sliding the rear end into the corner. Suddenly pretty close now is Rogers, who's going to try that same inside move again, and he gets it to stick. So Rogers using the same move that his teammate out front used to get the lead, makes it happen to take over third place. And now we have a field ski and snowboard 1, 2, 3 in this 250 main event. This group is catching Rogan McIntosh as well rather quickly. We are 9 minutes in, 6 minutes and a lap to go. Let's give you a quick run through the field, brought to you by R Jerky. Head over to eatrjerky.com and use the code SYS20 for 20% off your order of some delicious beef jerky. That's SYS20 at eatrjerky.com. Race leader Bryce Whelan on the field ski and snowboard number 45 machine, leading the way from Rogan McIntosh, his teammate on the number 60 in second. Third for Tanner Rogers, another field ski and snowboard Honda on the 49. Third for him. Fourth for Tyron Tomic on the Connect Visual number 42 KTM. Fifth for Braden Tharp on the number 53 machine. Sixth is Frank Jackson, field ski and snowboard number 32. Seventh for Johnny Padani on the Underground RC number 180. Eighth for Lane Wofford, Boots House number 27. Ninth for Chase Blakely on the BPC number 21. And John Heilman rounds out the top 10. Another field ski and snowboard Honda rider. Cade Matherly in 11th. Noah McLaughlin 12th. Gers 13th. Thomas 14th. Brett Powers in 15th. Thomas Sunis 16th. Wilson 17th. Cross is in 18th. Thompson 19th. Bear in 20th. Trent Adams in 21st. And Caden Speck did not finish this main event. Bryce Whelan in. A little bit of lap traffic right here. Gets taken to the ground. Wow, lap traffic. Putting your race leader on the ground. He's going to get up still in the race lead, but he's certainly lost some time. Rogan McIntosh now right there again. Tanner Rogers closing up as well. And Tomic got away from Tharp a little bit. So really top four separated by 0.8, 4 seconds, 2 seconds. So about 8 seconds total between the top four. Battle for third starting to brew a little bit. Tomic closing back up to Rogers. We have got 4 minutes and a lap left to go in this main event. Whelan goes the opposite way on the straightaway. Then it's Rogan McIntosh. Then the battle for third right now between Tanner Rogers and Tyron Tomic. Who is going to win this main event? Look at how deep that rut has gotten through the sand section. Certainly basically a wall rut to just jump into at this point. Rogers still going for the triple, then step on, step off line. If they can get the quad, it's much faster, but you can see Tomic electing to go for the safe route of double, triple on off. Rogers a little bit short on the triple right there. All right, let's take one last breath before things start to get chaotic, because it is certainly coming, at least in this battle for third, if not the battle for the race lead. These guys are slowly reeling in, wheeling out front. It's only 7.2 seconds now back to Tomic, and that gap continues to come down. Not fast enough for these guys to straight up catch him, but there's still a lot of lap traffic involved. You could see Whelan maybe getting a little bit flustered by it, trying to lead this race late. Rogers now open up a bit of a gap, trying to go after McIntosh. You can see the lap traffic is aplenty. Really, the battle for the race lead might be the closest one at the moment. No, it looks like Tomic is still pretty close to Rogers, but man, pretty close. Oh, McIntosh just missed a finish line jump, and he gets landed on, and Rogers lands on the lap riders and goes down. Tomic shoots through into second place. So lappers causing all kinds of chaos, and now Whelan with an 8-second advantage as McIntosh has to go back to work in a battle for P2. Now Tomic lays it down. He tries to pick it back up and still is going to hold on for second, at least for right now. Whelan got through a lot of that lap traffic so far. These guys are still kind of in the thick of it. Look at that. That's McIntosh going to the inside. Contact, and Tomic down. Oh my goodness, McIntosh taking no prisoners as Rogers goes back through into third place. Here's a 70 of Austin Bear. Is that for position? Not quite. No, I thought it might have been. So Tomic slips back to fourth again. McIntosh wanted no part of Tyron Tomic taking away this potential Phil's 1-2-3. As our leader, Bryce Whelan, out front, just trying to hold steady as we have 1 minute and 15 seconds plus a lap left to go. So settling in again, and whoa, Whelan goes down with the race lead. This is going to give McIntosh the opportunity to close right up, as Whelan is going to just get up and over the wall jump with McIntosh closing in. It'll be very, very close between 3 to go or 2 to go next time by. The time will be very close. But suddenly the race for the lead is on again. Rogan McIntosh, 48.5, 55.3 last time by for Whelan. Who is the faster of these two? Rogers, not faster than McIntosh last time through. And Whelan out front, gonna have 10 seconds on the clock right now. So 10 to go. I think these guys are just gonna miss the flag, and this will be coming to the white flag this time by. 3, 2, 1, and time. Indeed, the white flag is waving in Indianapolis. So Whelan has one less lap to work with, but he cased the finish line jump, and here comes teammate Rogan McIntosh. This would be a monumental first career victory for McIntosh if he can get it done on this last lap. Whelan goes to the inside, just avoids hitting that rut. Might have lost a little bit of time because McIntosh could swing to the outside and get a great drive. Oh, the 60 machine is pushing. Flying into the whoops off the back end of that bike. Giving it everything he can. He's going to triple here. No, he's not. I thought that might be his opportunity. Whelan's got to get through this straightaway clean, and he should be good to go. Triple. Triple again to the inside. A little short. And look at this. McIntosh around the outside. So close. It might come down to cuts in the end. But in the end, Bryce Whelan wins in Indianapolis. McIntosh second. Tomic is going to get a late pass done to get into third to spoil the Phil's Ski and Snowboard Honda party. Rogers will have to settle for fourth. Padani all the way up through into P5. Lane Watford comes through in sixth. Seventh for Tharp. Eighth for Frank Jackson. Ninth for Matherly. And Heilman will just get 10th there in the end. Gerst 11th. Powers in 12th. Blakely 13th. McLaughlin 14th, 15th for Trevin Thompson. And Nick Thomason is the last guy on the lead lap in 16th spot. Robert Wilson 17th, Bear 18th, 19th Adams, 20th for Thomas, 21st Cross, and of course Speck didn't finish. Cuts are in, and we have a change at the top. Rogan McIntosh wins his first career MotoOption Supercross main event here in Indianapolis. Wow, a huge amount of cuts. 5.2 seconds for Bryce Whelan, loses him the race in Indy, and McIntosh goes home with the trophy on an incredible night of racing. Look at him, he was stoked. Awesome to see, first career victory. Wow. Oh man, what a race. What a race indeed. Rogan McIntosh, congratulations. First career main event victory in this 250 class. And a big F in chat for sure there for Bryce Whelan losing it on cuts. Hate to see it. That is what we call a lawyer win for you folks at home. If you've ever looked at the MX Simulator servers page, if you win a race on penalties, you get a trophy called the lawyer. So that's kind of funny, but yeah, just got it done. Rogan McIntosh getting the lawyer. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. So yeah, back in the studio, hanging out with the chat. Good to see you guys. 340 live viewers. Always seems to slowly go down towards the end of the year, but awesome to have over 300 people still watching. I remember back in, I think this was 18, so last time Leclerc won his title, we had like 800 or something crazy people at the opener and less than 100 people by the end of the season. So I get it. People get busy. Not everybody gets to tune in and watch it live. Maybe you guys are watching the playback, so I'd appreciate that as well. But awesome to have so many of you guys still watching live and tuning in. Really appreciate the support, and hopefully we're bringing you guys some good action here tonight. So coming up next, 450 main event as stated for round number 11. It's technically 10 because we've only done 9 rounds so far, but round 11 of MotoOption Supercross getting ready to drop the gate here in Indianapolis. Of course, round 12 will be next week in Seattle. And then the weekend after that, or the week after that, I should say, during the off weekend in Monster Energy Supercross, we will be racing Detroit as a makeup round. We missed Detroit last week due to a postponement. So Detroit round 10 has been moved to that off week. So March 30th, same time, same place here at Start Your Systems, will be bringing you guys the Detroit MX Simulator Supercross, so you won't want to miss that one as well. And yeah, good times aplenty still to be had in this MotoOption Supercross Championship season. Gonna have to meet up with me at STL. Unfortunately, I am not going to St. Louis. That is going to be Weege's territory. So if you see Weege, say hi to him for me and say, why didn't you send Kellen to this race instead? I kid. But not going to STL. We'll be at Indy this weekend and Seattle the weekend after that. About to book my stuff for Salt Lake City as well. I might still make it to Foxborough, but we'll see. Not 100% sure just yet. All right. Let us go back in the server and get ready to drop the gate here on round 11 of the championship. Jeremy Smith, Alexis Leclerc, Braden Castellaneta, Seth Crotty, Holden Coate, Jody Van Wessel, Colby Eagland, Adam Holm, Chase Donovan, Jacob Hubbard, Luke Sullivan, Bob Joe, Dylan Copeland, Aaron Rockefeller, Payson Johnson, Thomas Wilcox, Chris Post, Seth Shirley, Caleb Hall, Tyler Lang, and Braden Carter. How's it going, folks, in the chat? Good to see you guys here tuning in. Brock Landry loves the streams. Thanks so much, Brock. Appreciate you. Subi WRX is watching from North Carolina. Watches all the live ones that he can. Always watching the playback. Glad to have you here. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the show as always. Oh, gotta get that moto timer. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Apologies, that was way late, so the timing is going to be off a little bit, but here we go. Who's ready to drop the gate? It's round 11 in MotoOption Supercross. The one machine on the outside. Carter leads him in and leads him out. Braden Carter, RaceFactorGaming.com Whole Shot Award. Oh, he's struggled with starts this year, and this is a huge momentum swing in this evening program. Carter leads at the end of lap number 1. It's Leclerc in second, Holm in third. Your heat race winner from earlier tonight. Hall right there. Johnson with a good start. Lang's up front. Seth Crotty's in the mix. A great group of guys out front. But of course, they're going to be watching the battle between Carter and Leclerc at the sharp end of the field. Who comes out on top of this one between these two in their championship fight? Where is Colby Eagland as well? We got to keep an eye on the 24 machine, see where he is, as Carter able to get a little bit of a gap established. Leclerc going to try to settle into the second position. Of course, both these guys have won races so far this year. Leclerc with the championship lead coming into this round, still holding strong on a Safe Moon, backed by Panini Motorsports Yamaha. And they have a little bit of a gap going now. Back to Jody Van Wessel, the I-Spec machine. Tyler Lang, the winner at Daytona 2 weeks ago, feeling the flow, trying to move up into that third position. See if Lang can make something happen quick on Van Wessel. Look at that, sharp up the inside. And follows him right into this rut right here. But if he can get a good drive into the whoops right here, might be a passing opportunity. Look at this for Lang into third. The 5 machine not able to triple out of this corner nor get the quad, so Van Wessel cuts back across. Lang is just not enjoying that racecraft out of Van Wessel with the cross jumping. So I'm going to imagine he's going to try to make a quick pass, and he might do it right here down the inside. Not quite just yet. Great battle, though, for third. Oh, and Van Wessel goes down and takes Lang down as well. Ah, you hate to see it. Sometimes that happens. Johnson has to roll the finish line jump as well. Over top comes the 23 of Seth Shirley, and now Van Wessel goes down. So kind of all not for not doing that heavy blocking there for Joey Van Wessel. Back to our race leader, Braden Carter. Looking good early on. Definitely did not look too solid early in the night show. His heat race is a little bit earlier on. But now has kind of turned it around with a good start and looks completely different. Looks really fluid in the early couple laps of this one. Wonder if he went back to the drawing board, maybe made a couple suspension changes in between his heat race and this main event, made some improvements on the motorcycle. Trying to make things a little bit better for himself, get a better comfort. Because Leclerc, we saw him in his heat race charge from 18th up to win his heat race, which is definitely not the case of what we saw out of Braden Carter. So Leclerc was definitely looking real comfortable on this racetrack here tonight. So far, though, race leader Braden Carter holding him at bay. Battle for third right now going on. Mason Johnson and teammate Johan Bordeaux into this corner. Johnson trying to get to the outside, gets kind of punted up into the Davalos bales, so Lang's going to go through. 23 of Shirley is by. The 4 of Smith, the 78 of Hubbard might also get to the inside as well. He's going to get the quad double, kind of case it though a little bit, and Johnson swoops around the outside to hold the position. Right behind those guys is the 17 of Adam Holmes, so we got a little bit of a freight train going on right here. Pretty much nose to tail. Impressive how much of a lead has already been established by the lead group, though. Bordeaux is in third, but Leclerc and Carter are literally gone. What are they running for lap times? 45.2, 46 dead for Leclerc, 12 seconds back to Bordeaux at a 47.4, and then Lang at a 46.3. Lang, I think, has the pace to run with them, but unfortunately didn't have a shot to really show it after that early race tussle with Van Wessel. Now goes into third place around Johan Bordeaux, and able to get the quad double rather cleanly to the inside. Bordeaux swoops to the outside into the wall jump. So Lang trying to at least make it successive podiums, but I'm sure he's hoping for a little bit of drama out front if he can get some help from our race leaders. Braden Carter, though, already into some heavy lap traffic. We are 4 minutes and 40 seconds into this race, and he's already caught basically the tail end of the long field. Got around, trying to see who that was that he just passed right there. It was one of the Filski and Snowboard Honda? Or, no, it wasn't Copeland, so it must be the 81 of Chase Donovan, so the HHR Honda program. Donovan already going a lap down. Carter already catching up to Copeland just ahead of him, I believe. You got Leclerc, Lang, Shirley, Smith inside the top 5. Smith and Hubbard going at it for 5th right now, and Smith just made a mistake. Hubbard gets into him and lands it. Oh, yeah. That is what happens with MX Simulator Physics playing a good favor for you. So Hubbard able to stay on 2 wheels. Smith going to lose a couple positions. He is now... Wow, still was stuck on the finish line jump by the looks of it. So he goes from 5th down to 17th. Oh, hate to see it. And there's a lot of bumping and banging going on through the field otherwise. I just don't really want to miss it if something happens out here. 2.2 seconds in it between Carter and Leclerc. 46.2, 45.7. Stick on board with Leclerc for just a minute here as we start getting into some lap traffic and really see what it's starting to look like. Because you can see you already got that rut on the inside of the sand corner. That thing's already beaten down. And it's the 381 of Coat, that they're getting by, not Donovan. 2.1 seconds. Leclerc is right there. 2.42. Got that clean. Suddenly, Carter is coming back into Leclerc's clutches. That is Jeremy Smith now, who was just in 5th 2 laps ago, getting out of the way instead for race leaders 2 laps later. Incredible. Not quite out of the way for Leclerc just yet. I'm sure he'll swing wide in this corner and let the number 7 machine go, or not. Actually kind of fought back up the inside, but Leclerc's French lag puts him on the ground. 2.1 seconds, still the gap. Uh-oh, Carter! Carter is down and off the bike! Who did he get together with? Was it a teammate? No, it looked like Van Wessel on the outside. Now Van Wessel crossing back onto the track. Almost got Carter again, but Leclerc has gone to the race lead. Leclerc's not out of the water yet, though. He's got Holden Coat right in front of him. Jeremy Smith right behind him, and Carter's still right there in the background. Coat not quite out of the way just yet. Now might be moving aside. Yeah, Leclerc able to scoop by. But lap traffic's certainly going to be a factor in this race as Carter now has a couple more riders to get through, but 1.9 seconds is the gap. Lang back there licking his chops that these guys get together or get into more lap traffic. And Jeremy Smith down the inside. You can see Carter trying to force the issue around the outside, but kind of blew the rut. And Holden Coat now moves aside, allows Carter through. Very nicely done by the 381 machine. Triple for him. So it's Leclerc leading the race, but not by much. Carter is still lurking back there. Let's get a lap time check as went through lap traffic. 46.3, 46.2. Pretty much matched each other. So can Carter, on the flip side, close this gap down to Leclerc and make things interesting again for the race lead? More lap traffic will come into play. A couple more guys just up the road of Leclerc here in just a moment. Gosh, Carter gets that rut so good. Wow, look at all the time he just gained back. Oh, and Leclerc a mistake. Leclerc a little mistake. Got sideways entering the rhythm section. And Holden Coat going to hold him off coming into this corner. So Coat not playing the best lapper at the moment. As Leclerc triples through here. Coat around the outside. And it's just a cat and mouse game, it seems a little bit here. Carter now back to having the 2-second advantage as Coat now lets Leclerc go through. 2.6 is the gap. Riders down, getting out of the way. Carter back into the race lead again. 9 minutes have gone, 11 minutes and a lap still to go, and Lang is still lurking back there. Johnson has now just gotten around Seth Shirley to get into 4th place. So Shirley on the Boots House Yamaha subs back here into 5th, but still a solid run for the 23 machine. Johan Bordeaux running in 6th for Panini Motorsports. Colby Eagland right behind him in 7th. Really need a charge to the field here for Eagland as Bordeaux goes down. So Eagland up to 6th. Hubbard up to 7th now on the field ski and snowboard Honda. Kind of hovering right around 5 to 10 all year long. So right in the position that he's normally in. Oh, Bordeaux rear end kick out. Nice save. Caleb Hall and Bob Joe round out our top 10 though. Luke Sullivan, Castellaneta, Adam Holm, Jeremy Smith, Van Wessel, Coat, Rockefeller, Crotty, Wilcox, Copeland, Post, Donovan. Quick little look through the field right here. Everybody's kind of spread out. Back to race leader Braden Carter again as we have crested the halfway point into the second half of this 450 main event from Indianapolis. Carter slowly chipping away Alexis Leclerc's championship lead. It has just been a slow grind to get it to come all the way down. Not much in it now between these two as Leclerc jumps off the track. Castellaneta on the 26 moves aside. .7 is the gap. It looks like Carter maybe has a little bit more pace in hand, but he's about to hit another group of lap traffic. Three riders pretty much in line right in front of him. Wow, Leclerc, I did not think he was still going to go for the quad, but he did. Keeps it at 3.2 because of it. 46.7 to a 46.1, but here's that lap traffic I was talking about with Carter. Sullivan and Hall, maybe? Caleb Hall in the 33 at the front of this group. I'm trying to figure out which Honda that is, though. I don't think it's Hubbard. Sullivan moves aside. And this Honda rider there catching, is that Decope? Might be Decope as Carter hits him and goes down. And it was the 91 of Bob Joe. 91 of Bob Joe goes down and takes Carter with him. Leclerc back to the lead. So again, lap traffic being the key catalyst in this main event thus far and continuing to wreak havoc on both Leclerc and Carter. This time, Carter gets caught out, and he has to do the chasing again. 6.6 seconds trying to get around Chris Post, who is not moving aside just yet. Shout out to MX for Life 894 for the $10 donation. It says, thanks for the best sim broadcast. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Always love the support from you guys as always. Carter around the inside right there, trying to get a good drive down the start straightaway. And Lang's still back here. The gap now to Lang. 10 seconds and 5 seconds to Carter. So these guys must be going a little bit faster than Lang because they had opened up a bit of a gap. Now Carter back in clean air again. Oh, don't short the quad. This lap time looks ridiculous, though. Down to 5.5. Leclerc just did a 47 flat. Carter checks in with a 45.9, a whole second faster. Rider down, don't come across the track, Caleb Hall. Oh boy. All right, so this looks like Castellaneta and Hubbard, I believe, that's just ahead of Carter. Yeah, so Castellaneta on the 26, he gets out of the way. And then, of course, Hubbard, who is Carter's teammate, will certainly be moving aside shortly. And then we will have clean track once again between Carter and Leclerc to see who is going the fastest. Still getting that double quad double through this section. And now Sullivan gets between Hubbard and Carter, or just ahead of him, I should say. As Hubbard moves aside, Carter goes through, and that gap has come down significantly to Leclerc. 3 seconds, 45.7 again, 48.2 for Leclerc. Little front end tuck for Leclerc coming onto the start straight. His teammate, a pseudo teammate at least, on the Panini Motorsports Yamaha, Luke Sullivan, has let him through and is now going to be a bit of a blocker. Will he play a bit of the team game here? Or will he move aside and allow Carter to go through? Carter is absolutely flying, and yes, Sullivan is just going to move out of the way, not willing to play a factor in this championship. Very nicely done. So it is, once again, mano-a-mano, 2.2 seconds in it for the race lead. Braden Carter trying to close up on Alexis Leclerc, and boy, does he need this race victory in a bad way. He's got to try to stop the bleeding to Leclerc, try to claw some points back in his way. This guy's now going to the outside and slingshotting down the start straight right here. We have only got 5.5 minutes left to go. That's Dylan Copeland. He'll adhere to the blue flag and move aside. We got another lap rider in the way as well. He is moving right out of the way. It is the 22 of Thomas Wilcox, and of course the teammate there, to Carter. Down to 1.5 seconds. Braden Carter has closed this gap down significantly in the last couple of laps right here. A little deep on the corner right there. Going to lose some time. Down to about 2 seconds this time through. Let's see what it says over the board. 46.7, 47.3, another 0.6 gained on Leclerc that last lap alone, and more lap traffic about to come into play for the number 7 machine. That is a 30 or the 54 of Rockefeller. At the 381 again of Coat, I believe. And then Carter jumping to that inside. 381 of Coat is the only person in between these two for the race lead. Give credit to Leclerc for sure here as he bumps Rockefeller out of the way with that French lag. He has done a very nice job to not make mistakes under pressure here, because the pressure has been coming slowly but surely for a long time by Carter, and now there is nearly nothing in it as we go into lap number 22. 4 minutes and a lap left to go here in Indianapolis. Leclerc, your championship leader, but not by much, leads the race by not a lot either, as Braden Carter is closing up from behind. This is going to get good. Strap in, folks. 450 main event here in Indianapolis. About to be nuts. Carter with a great drive. Down the whoops to the inside for the lead. Gets it on Leclerc. Leclerc cuts back and triples out of the corner. That is going to hold the race lead for the time being. But it is on in Indy. Oh, Carter down. Hit the kicker coming into that corner and goes up into the Davalos bales. Just as he got the lead away, he coughs it right back up. And now he's getting hit by more lapped riders. Oh, that was going to be so good. But in the end, Leclerc is going to get away unscathed. Wow. So close to getting so gnarly. But in the end, it divulged back into a whole lot of nothing. Carter has got to make up a ton of ground in a short amount of time now. 10.5 seconds, 56.9. I mean, he needs some help. He needs Leclerc to either go down, have a slide out, something, for this to make this a battle for the lead again. Otherwise, Leclerc has got this thing dialed. Leclerc, you can see, looks like he might even be slowing down a little bit. Maybe just trying to play it safe. This track has definitely gotten pretty gnarly. We'll look at it from Carter's perspective. The ruts are pretty deep. These guys cannot do that triple quad anymore, but Carter is still really pushing the pace right here. Oh, wait! No, Leclerc was down on the finish line jump! I thought I saw a Panini Yamaha. Oh my goodness, Leclerc! Lost the front end into the face of the finish line jump, and he kind of goons it over the backside. Lang has taken over second place. Johnson, has taken over second. Carter just got up with the race lead, and suddenly Payson Johnson is trying to go to the race lead. What the heck? What is happening? So Carter leads. Johnson now in second. Lang third. Leclerc fourth. And the battle is on with two different casts of characters than we expected here in Indy. Over the top, Johnson hits Carter. He's front flipping. He's down. Lang's coming through to take the race lead. He almost gets taken down. There's Wilcox coming in like a missile down the inside, but Lang takes it over. Unbelievable change of events. Okay, let's reset things. Tyler Lang leads the race. We got 1 minute and 15 seconds and a lap to go. Lang from Johnson, from Carter, and Leclerc. What the heck is happening right now? Tyler Lang trying to go for 2 successive race victories, getting the Daytona win 2 weeks ago. Johnson versus Carter. Carter down the inside of Johnson. Almost gets blocked. Contact! They're both down. They're both on the ground. Leclerc gets completely stopped. Unbelievable. What is happening? Carter's going to get up still in third right behind Leclerc as Johnson. What the heck is this main event from Indianapolis? So Leclerc now back into second place. Lang getting away unscathed out front. The battle for second is on between Leclerc and Carter. Wow. All right, so Leclerc able to get a bit of a gap established. Johnson almost into the tough blocks. Have to imagine if Johnson gets back to the number 1 machine, he is going to send it down the inside like a missile and not let off until Carter is on the outside of the berm. So Lang in the race lead, time about to expire, coming to the white flag, getting blocked by lap traffic all the way through as well. Holden Coat not moving. The 71 of Seth Crotty coming down the inside, sending it. And Leclerc maybe trying to make up some time. White flag is out in Indianapolis. Can Tyler Lang win 2 successive races and try to get back into this championship hunt? Leclerc trying to hold off a charge from Carter. In a battle for the championship lead is hot and heavy. Oh boy, these two definitely look like they're about to get together. Don't forget Pace and Johnson just behind these guys. Look at Carter. He has been so fast in the whoops. Is he going to get another great drive in this set? Not close enough, and Johnson closed right up as well. He's sandwiched. He might get taken out by Johnson. He might take out Leclerc. Something is about to happen. Meanwhile, 2 turns to go. Who would have thought? Unbelievable main event, and it's going to go to Tyler Lang. Oh, and Leclerc's down. Carter gets through for 2nd place. 3rd place is going to go to Pace and Johnson. No, he's down before the finish line, and Leclerc gets 3rd. What the heck just happened this main event? Are you kidding me? So Johnson crosses the line in 4th place. Seth Shirley will get 5th. Colby Eaglin 6th. Luke Sullivan 7th. Johan Bordeaux in 8th. 9th for Castellaneta. Jeremy Smith made it all the way back to 10th place. Caleb Hall 11th. Hubbard 12th. Van Wessel 13th. Bob Joe 14th. Coate, Crotty, Rockefeller, Post, Holm, Copeland, Wilcox, Donovan was the run for the field. Let's take a look at our leaders if anything changed. And they did not, but wow. 1.05 seconds on the cuts there for Lang. 2.3 seconds of the gap at the end. Carter gets 2nd, Leclerc 3rd, Johnson 4th, and Shirley 5th. 2nd time in his career, 2nd win in a row. Tyler Lang is your victor tonight at the Indianapolis Supercross, MotoOption Supercross. Catch the fever! What a freaking race in this 450 class. Holy freaking smokes. I can't believe what I just watched. Oh, catch your breath. Catch my breath. Can't believe Tyler Lang just won that freaking race. You guys are asking for a replay. I feel like we kind of have to go through and take a look here. I get a default replay here, load it up and see what happened. And just try to catch the highlights here. So we'll watch Carter. We'll fast forward a little bit here. Get about halfway through the race and then see what happened. So Carter going back and forth with Leclerc for the race lead. We exchanged blows several times at this point. Carter went down right there. Leclerc got it back. Then Carter caught him back up. So we'll get to the halfway point of the race here. So here's Carter halfway through the main event at this point. He is in the race lead. We got Leclerc 2nd. Lang at this point 13.5 seconds behind Leclerc. Johnson 5 seconds behind Lang. And then Shirley is rounding out the top 5 at this point. So if we go a little bit further on, we'll see when it happens with... so Carter, this is him going down with Bob Joe. So this is Bob Joe ahead. You can see coming out of this corner. He is going to land right up there on Caleb Hall by the looks of it. Yeah, just lands on his rear tire, gets kicked sideways, and then Carter has nowhere to go. So this is 11.5 minutes into the main event getting together. That caused Leclerc to go into the race lead. He's going to jump over top of him right here. So that's Leclerc taking over the race lead. Then we had Leclerc lead for a little while. That gap was slowly coming down to 3 seconds. Carter just continued to blister that gap down. Now we're 15 minutes into the main event. This is the gap right here at 15 minutes in. 1.9 between Leclerc and Carter. Johnson had moved up to 3rd by that point. Lang was right behind him in 4th. Eaglin was 5th. And now as we continue on, we'll see a little bit further what happened here with Leclerc as he was being caught by Carter. Oh, so this is the battle right here. So this is Leclerc coming down the whoops. And Carter, look at the drive he gets, just right down the inside. Great pass, but great read by Leclerc too, and triples out of the corner. Nicely done. And then Carter, as we get to this corner right here, as we come across, you're going to see this little notch, if you can see my marker, this notch right here. Carter's going to clip it with his rear tire, kind of slide into it, and then just scrubs off of it, really. And decent crash into the Davalos bales. He's going to get stuck as well. Right there, gets stuck inside of those Davalos bales. Yeah, so he'll just get stuck right there. He's upside down. There's Sullivan going by. There is a lot other lappers. Then he gets hit by Copeland. And he was still at this point. Leclerc's through. There's Johnson and Lang, so he still had not gotten passed by either of these two. So when does Leclerc go down and how? It's on the finish line jump. Is it right here? Yeah. Oh, weird crash. And then he's stuck. So he was stuck on the finish line jump, and then he got hit. Okay, so that's what happened. And then right there, that's Carter going by. So if we go back and look at this again, this is just Leclerc. Just missed the rut right there. You can see the front tire skid high off the rut, slides up the finish line jump face, and then as he's trying to get going over the finish line jump, it's going to get hit right here, coming through on the outside. Holden Coat is going to clip him and send him. Where did Coat go? Did Coat right out of that? Doesn't look like it. Or maybe he 360'd out of it. Hold on. Let's go back and find Holden Coat because I am keen to see now. He actually did right out of that. He is back here. 360 to, yeah, nailed it. So Holden Coat, catch the fever. Hit Leclerc on the finish line jump right there. Just a sick little 360 and nailed it. All right, so let's go back to the leader. We're just trying to break this whole race down again. So Leclerc's down. He's upside down on this jump. There's Carter that went by for the lead. And then right there is Johnson on the 51 going by for second. And then Lang right there in the background on the 5 going by for third. So then Leclerc remounts in fourth. At this point, Carter has got the lead. What does he do? So he gets this inside rut wrong right here. He and Johnson now come through the next section of the whoops pretty close together. Hopping through this rhythm section, you can see Johnson to the outside. I'm trying to remember what happened to Carter. Or did Johnson just straight take the lead away? Oh, this is what happened. Yes. Okay, so forgot about this moment. Johnson goes for the quad right behind Carter. He is going to clip Carter right there. I know it doesn't look like it, but you're going to see his front tire just run up right there. So he's hitting Carter's like bubble of lag, runs him up, and he's going for the quad, and then it just turns into Sexton and Cooper Webb, and he clips Carter's front tire right there, so he goes down. Carter almost rode out of this. Rear tire tap, another front flip, and head hits right there, so then he goes down. So he's laying in the ground right here. Then we're going to have, Wilcox come flying in like a missile. He hits him, and I don't know how Lang didn't go down right here. So Lang, first of all, able to hop over Johnson, and then look at this, just missile coming in. That's Thomas Wilcox right there. Missed him by, I don't know, a foot, maybe? But I mean, there's lag involved right there. Pretty crazy move. So then Lang takes the lead. He kind of takes off from right here. I don't think he was ever passed again. Got Johnson in second place. Goes backward right there. So fast forward a little bit. Oh, there's a takeout between Carter and Johnson. This is the very next lap through. So this is Johnson down the inside. Great drive. Just barely avoids hitting Rockefeller. I mean, his bar is in his rear fender. I don't know how the heck they didn't make contact. But then, yeah, just runs Johnson high. They get together. They're kind of inside of each other, having a good time, or not. So then Carter, fall-off crash right there. You got Johnson with a fall-off crash. Then coming in right here is Leclerc. He is going to go over Carter right there. Enduro man over the top of him. Then gets stuck on Johnson right there. So they'll continue on. And Leclerc will get up in second. Carter will get up in third. Johnson in fourth. And then from there, it's a continuation to the end, I think, right? So that's white flag out for Lang. He just avoids the lap traffic chaos. And then what happens with Leclerc right here? So Carter closes up. Carter might hit Leclerc here. What happens? Oh, wow. Excuse me. Sorry. Johnson got into the mix. Did he quad? Oh, he did. So Johnson was able to bust the quad on the last lap of the race. Sitting down right here. He is so close to clipping. No, actually got it. He kind of greased it. And he's going to jump this to the inside. Did he cut tough blocks? Maybe this is why I had cuts. Oh, man, not really. Pretty good line. And then ends up alongside Carter. And then hits Leclerc in the back tire. That flips Leclerc over. And then gets Johnson stuck on him as Lang wins the race out front. Unfreaking believable main event that ends with Carter, who at the time that they hit this wall jump was in 4th place, doesn't get caught up in the melee, and instead he will come through and get 2nd place. Johnson got up in 3rd, excuse me. I don't know if he was doing this on purpose or not, but he crashes before the finish line jump. Obviously, helps out Leclerc because Leclerc is able to get by and finish up in 3rd in this one. I don't even know. Folks, I don't know what race I just watched. I still am trying to pull this all together. The last 5 minutes of that race were some of the craziest moves in a MotoOption Supercross main event I've ever seen. And wow, this championship is still just blown wide freaking open. Can't believe it. Wow. All right, so that's a wrap on Indianapolis this week. Crazy main event. Shout out Tyler Lang. Shout out Rogan McIntosh, his first career main event victory as well. And we'll be back next week with the Seattle Supercross in MX Simulator, and then Detroit the weekend after that, the makeup week for the Detroit MX Simulator Supercross. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Of course, big shout out to Hits and Clutch Components for helping out our Jerky and everybody that's involved behind the scenes with Start Your Systems and helping us put on this show for you guys. Of course, shout out to MotoOption Clothing for the presentation of the Supercross series every year here in MX Simulator. Racex Suspension, Filski and Snowboard, Underground RC, MXS Lobby, and everybody else involved at RaceFactorGaming.com. Thanks to them. Thanks to you fine folks that tuned in tonight. Watch the race. Crazy night. Crazy night. And a lot of fun was had for sure. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. I look forward to seeing you guys next week in Seattle for round 12 of MotoOption Supercross. So long for now.